Rap Roundtable.
You already know what it is. It's your boy Jav.
Sincere the Rap Snob.
Lacey Liguizamo.
J-Mo, no shame-o.
No shame-o.
What's fucking with that? Diddy, go get him.
Shout out to Sin, the beat was laced with the groove. Jar through the lob, and the round table ensued. Lang added in beautifully. Jameson the booze, you see. Fondini somewhere in the clouds, usually. Exclusively, we came together, bringing you these clever endeavors. Classics, we've been doing this since forever. Move the lever and distribute perspectives and contribute to the culture that we love and hold dear. 4 cups pulled up, and this shit go back for some years. Only difference now, this mic's up in here. Connecting like it's Voltron. Press play and watch us go on. You better get up on this wave like the Coast Guard. The Rap Roundtable.
I'm so drunk right now.
Listen, you already know what it is. Let's do what we do. Yes, sir. Episode 4 of the Rap Roundtable ensues. The winding road of hip-hop. News, whether good or bad, or in some cases sad and depressing. We are here to talk about it. To my left,
As always,
Sincere the Rap Snob.
that's me.
Adjacent, J-Mo, no shame-o. Langston Leguizamo.
J-Mo no chaser today.
J-Mo, no chaser. We are playing with fire. If he starts sounding drunk and slurring like a half hour in, it is the Jameson. Cut Langston a check.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
I
last-
do that every week. So.
But
Every episode.
certainly not least, the Force himself, Zendini.
I am one with the force, my brother. How
Yes,
you feeling?
sir. Yes, sir. We are the Rap Roundtable.
Yes, we are.
That's what we're here for.
It's been a heavy month, fellas. It's been, I felt like March, it wasn't anything moving, and then to get over to April and to start April the way we did with that culture crushing loss of Nipsey Hussle, all the way to some fire albums coming. It felt like April picked up as the month went along.
for sure.
You know what I mean?
We lost a great one, though.
We lost a great one. I felt like he was just now scratching the surface of what
coming,
his
man.
impact could be. So, with that said, we didn't get to talk about Nip as much as because he left us as we finished episode
Right
3.
after.
Right.
And, I'm going to throw it over to Sincere because, I always comment creep on Sincere posts, because he's very active on Twitter. He's been, I think of the 4 of us, he's taken it the worst. So I throw it over to you, Sin. The loss of Nipsey Hussle, a legend in the making and a legend now in his own right.
It's just, it's always tough when you see somebody doing things right. And as you said, like just starting to scratch the surface, like people that knew, but there was so many people that didn't know yet, right? And it really, it's terrible that like a lot of the times like it takes a tragedy like this for people for the knowledge to spread. But yeah, man, like, and we had just recorded like 2 days before this happened. We got Lang to drop a few words before the previous episode, but I felt like we really had to talk about it like in person, like for real.
Yeah.
And let it be known that like that, what he was doing, everything he was doing, like music aside, I like the music, you know what I mean? But like music aside, even if I wasn't feeling the music, like everything that he stood for, the movement that he was trying to put forth, owning his own, all his masters, giving back to the hood, building up his community, you know what I mean? For him to get moked out like in his community is just tragic, being sucker shit,
in the process of a good deed on that.
You know what I mean? Like he was trying to help his brother out that was just coming home, and some sucker shit, man. Like, so it is what it is. But like, you know what I mean? We carry his spirit forward, and we drink to the homie.
R.I.P. Nipsey Hussle.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Bring them cups together. You already
For
know.
me, you're the best person to speak on that because you put me on the Nip. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I feel kind of cheated because now, like, I got on to the vibe, and now the man's gone.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it, and I'm not really like, I don't want to talk about it. It's not even about. I love Nip. you know? I always said it was never about the music. Like if you had a hustle and you got the biggest rapper in the game to buy like 100 copies of your joint for a rack a piece. For someone to witness your hustle from across the country, that was amazing to me.
That was a mutual respect.
Yeah, like I didn't like Nipsey the rapper more than I like Nipsey the person, you know? I like the energy.
stood for.
Especially in the climate of where the industry is right now. Damn it, we need more Nipsey.
That's a fact,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When everybody's out there trolling and like
Yes.
just, you know,
Hip-hop
out for the
is
cloud,
becoming-
getting likes and retweets and whatever, like,
Shucking and jiving.
Shucking
you know what I mean?
It's
Just
like
to
one
get
big
that
minstrel show.
a little 15 minutes of fame. Nah, he was in it for the long haul, man.
Yeah.
He was in it for the marathon, put in the work from way deep. You know what I mean? If you peep his old videos, he was always about that shit.
In the victory lap.
And I'm stuttering because it's like, we know what happens in the hood. We know a lot of times you lose your life in your hood. You know what I mean? But it's like, this, I know you could say it's symbolic, but it bothers me that the person did it in front of his shop. Like the entire symbol of what he was trying to do for the neighborhood. Like that's never gonna be okay. I'm never gonna be comfortable.
Majority
you know
of
what I'm saying?
rappers who died in their hood.
Right, but in front of his
Overwhelming.
shop, bro.
Yeah, man.
Come on, man.
It's fucked up.
Brutal, man.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So we thinking about LA right now, man. Shout to LA. They
Shout
still
out to
here.
LA.
You know what I'm
They doing
saying?
good. I mean,
LA love
yeah.
Nip, that's for sure.
Shout out to the
It was
homie
like a
Baylor.
gang
Baylor was
reunion. They
putting me on
made
the
a
whole
truce.
time with that situation. Another big loss, you know, in the golden era of hip hop. I mean, you could say the second one in the mid '90s.
Oh, yeah, man.
John Singleton losing his life by way of a stroke. Tough times.
Brutal,
You
man.
know, it's, you know, like I said, like, it's just weird.
Legends.
You know, right. In a time where we need to uphold the culture, I feel like as much as we've been doing this podcast, we always circle back to where the culture is at. And I feel like we lost two pillars.
Yeah.
Like it could, why there's no randoms out here. I can't even listen to Bust Down Tatiana anymore behind like the lives that we lost. So it's like who's
Full break.
right? Like we right now we have Ryan Coogler, but it's like
Yeah. He's coming
that
up. man.
black director, that urban director, that's a big loss.
The guy who made blockbuster
Yes,
hits. You know what I'm
yes.
saying? Not like, you know, Spike Lee is sort of the auteur, the guy that we revere because of his talent.
I haven't heard that word since
Joints.
college.
But you know, John Singleton, he put out movies with black people for black people that were box office hits, like Poetic Justice and Boys in the Hood and so on and so forth. So, R.I.P. John Singleton. Should we drink to the homie?
Absolutely.
Also?
R.I.P. to
man.
both the homies.
Salud.
Salud.
Yes.
Your names will
love
live
y'all.
on.
You know,
Y'all work in your families.
their work lives on.
Yeah. And take care of yourselves out there, man. Like,
Yeah, man. I mean,
Like,
Phife
look out for
Dog.
Yeah,
a lot of iconic figures in hip hop culture
Just look
dying
out for
way
yourself.
too
Was
young.
that how
Prodigy.
Heavy D went also?
Might have been.
Yeah.
Might have been. I don't remember
Stroke or heart
offhand.
attack? Which is
Something like that.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you know,
Enjoy the Jameson responsibly.
be
people.
safe. I tell everybody
safe, take
that
care of
anytime I
yourselves.
see them, be safe, take care of yourself.
Hold it down.
You know, stay on this plane as long as you can. You know, time is limited. But we're gonna get happier now. Let's you know on
Yeah,
a
we have
on
to
a
pay the
brighter
respects,
note. Yeah,
you know, properly.
absolutely. As I mentioned before, you know, April, you could say went from really sad to climaxing with a huge moment in hip hop. Jay-Z, B-sides,
Cooking.
Webster Hall, am I right?
Yeah, Webster Hall. The reopening of Webster.
Yeah, like
With the
what a way.
tux on.
Damn you, Hove.
You know, Deanie, I was throwing the ball to you, bro.
Damn you,
weren't
ho.
there, but like, what did that do for you? What did that do for your energy, man?
My energy was when I looked at the ticket prices. I was trying to be in there, man.
Prices is crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy, man.
They wanted
You
rent.
could, if you couldn't do it one time for the people, this was supposed to be for your day one fans, man. Day one fans don't always got $400, $500. You know what I mean?
That's what you
I'm a
see?
hustler, baby.
I didn't see $400 or $500.
What you saw?
11 and up.
Yeah.
I mean, that might have been over resale.
11 and up.
I don't know because
That was on Live Nation, bro.
Fuck
You-
that.
You dead ass.
Yo, Hove said it's Blue Magic. It's a brand name. You know what I mean?
Because I checked
I
it retroactively.
I guarantee it.
I
love
checked
that
it.
song.
I checked it retroactively because I didn't even want to depress myself to the fact
y'all
that
get the
Y'all ain't
clips
have
on
no
the-
price
the
and be
clips
like,
on the gram,
that's
bro.
so
Yeah,
crushing.
Webster Hall, that's like
No
the spot for
reserve,
the regular.
Yo,
Yo.
Didn't they
Tax
close
money?
Webster Hall? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's the
Reopening.
reopening.
So Hove reopened Webster Hall.
Yeah.
Webster Hall.
That's a low key flex.
Personally.
Yes.
Yes.
Different.
That's what made the
And then
whole
charging
night.
niggas like
so,
$1 million to go watch it.
Facts. Sincere, like that's what I was saying. Like that's what made the night so epic. Webster Hall and the cast of characters who ended up on the stage together.
Fam,
Can we talk about that?
Yeah.
Because New York, Webster Hall is a classic New York spot, legendary New York spot,
That's a
man.
fact.
Like I used to be up in
Facts.
there in my younger days,
There you go.
vibing and wilding a little bit, you know what I
Okay.
mean, here and there. But yeah, and then like it closed down at some point, and it was like, damn, another New York spot closed down because that happens a lot.
Yeah.
That's
It
been
does.
happening a lot.
All the
the tunnel?
iconic spots.
The
are just-
tunnel,
yeah.
all that time, the classic spots be
Club
closing
Envy,
up.
was it?
I think that's why
Palladium?
that Gramercy spot has become like a spot for up and coming acts now. That the
Yeah.
Gramercy, Hall
Gramercy
was-
Theater?
Yes, the
Yeah,
Gramercy
yeah.
Theater.
Yeah. So iconic spots be closing left and right. And here comes Hove.
That joint on Fordham still open?
Fordham.
Fordham.
Yeah, like on like
Oh,
184th and like
the Spanish
Grand
joint,
Concourse?
where Punningham used to.
Like
the
Rick
fat-
Ross- Rick Ross had a
Jimmy's
show-
Cafe.
Jimmy's Cafe.
No. It was like 185th and like Grand Concourse, like 180.
I don't have
Roomba?
I don't have no
Maybe
idea.
a little further. Maybe
Listen,
like
I'm from
like a little
Brooklyn.
bit like-
Jarvis lost right now.
wasn't
Anyway,
Rumble, it
the
wasn't Rumble.
point being, here comes Hove to like save an iconic downtown New York spot, and everybody's like, "Yo, like this shit is gonna be live." Hove's gonna do like the album
classics.
cuts, the joints that wasn't
want.
singles but people really love. And you're gonna charge how much? You saw 1,100?
100? Yeah, yo, even Eno posted it up. It was crazy.
Nah, it was around 1,100, no cap.
Wow. Because I checked it retroactively, and they were saying like the ticket prices were somewhere between like 300 and like 500 or something like that.
Around close to the day of 1,100. It was up there.
They had a
But-
pre-sale and then they had the regular sale too.
But sincere, Nas,
Cam.
Cam?
Killer
Killer
Cam.
Cam,
Listen,
Hove,
man.
the
Killer.
same
But that,
stage?
I mean,
That's a
but
big deal.
That's a huge deal, and like I don't know if everybody remembers. I saw somebody because there's somebody that I follow on Instagram that like really knows her hip hop stuff. But then she was like, "Yo, I can't believe like Hove and Nas was on the same stage." That did happen.
Yeah, like a decade ago.
A decade
Yeah, of
ago
course.
when they made up, but Hove and Cam was
That's a-
Yeah, and
low key a bigger deal.
The difference with that was because like the Jay and Nas thing, like that was competitiveness, two
Yeah.
guys, fighting for the crown.
Right.
The Hove and Cam thing, those were two dudes that just didn't like each other.
Ever.
Like that's
Then Cam
personality
alleged that he
clashing.
shot him. They got
yeah.
him shot.
You saw a dude throwing up the diamond when he
Yeah.
got shot
You're
in,
like,
in the
man, Cam is a
DMV.
clown for that, bro.
Cam different.
Yo, these
Yeah,
these
because
dudes is really hustlers,
Cam was
man.
always Dame's dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was never
It was
Hove's
always
dude, so-
awkward.
I always
Yeah.
stand behind, and I could be wrong as hell, but I feel like the minute Dame signed Cam and gave him presidency of
Over Bleak.
Rockefeller over Bleak or Beans,
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
truly the end of Rockefeller.
a
The
fact.
beginning of the end.
Beginning of the end,
The
yeah.
beginning of the end, no. I think the beginning of the end was already happening. I think that was the straw that broke the camel's back, and because there was so much money involved, it was a slow downfall. It was never the same. We had some moments.
Yeah, big
Yeah.
ship takes time to sink.
Yeah.
It happened when he was on vacation or something like that. He made the decision while he was
Right.
Hove was on vacation.
Like how you just sign this dude and then give
Yeah,
him
man.
president of Rockefeller? He wasn't even wearing the chain.
I don't think they was he was down for like 2 years yet at the time, were they?
No,
Not even.
It was
on
like-
entry to the
Yeah,
Rock,
it
he
was
was
crazy.
president, bro. You know what I'm saying? But to Sincere's point, I'm mad you stole that take. I was gonna throw that take out there, but that Jay and Cam feud to me was, as much as it wasn't more critically acclaimed or popular, that was the better feud,
was
bro.
entertaining.
We had like over a decade of beef.
whoa, dude. Come on. Let's not get crazy.
Not rap.
it was just-
I'm talking about like the overall
just the
beef.
shenanigans.
It was just better.
Okay. All right. I mean, Takeover versus Ether. Like, come
That's
on.
that's it's not about rap.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I think what he's saying is like, if you talking about stuff
Yeah.
like on the block, on your stoop, at the barbershop,
Right.
there was probably more talk over time about Hove and that Hove and Cam, Hove and Dipset beefing, because Jim ended up on stage too.
Yeah.
Remember Jim had crossed
Yeah.
over first. He was at the Rock Nation brunch like
Right.
2 years
He's-
ago.
he's signed to Roc Nation,
Yeah,
right?
he knew where that
that's
bread
true.
was
That's
buttered.
true. That's true. That's true.
You know what I mean? But
Still a moment though.
Shout
Yeah.
out to Dipset.
you gotta
man.
understand, like, they Diplomat Anthem.
Yeah.
Big up the Cam for taking over the Rock.
Yeah.
How you
Smile,
shooting
yeah,
at
so-
your CEO? Then you quote the Hove line and say, "It's the city where the skinny niggas die." Nope. The nerve
Wait,
and audacity.
that's a Tupac line, isn't it?
Not that that was a Biggie line.
But Hove was the one who had that line bubbling. He had just spit it like on like an album ago.
Yeah.
I forgot what it was. What song?
Yeah, I do remember Hope spitting that line.
Mama Loves Me, I believe it. Was it Mama Loves Me?
Oh, that was on the Rock
No.
La Familia, was it?
I'm trying to hear the beat, but that's besides the point. The fact remains that he was shooting at Jay-Z on Rockefeller Records.
Yeah.
And now they on stage together. Jim Jones,
Yeah.
Jay called this man the 13th man on the end of the bench. Came out of retirement to do a diss record about him. This is his balling response. You know what I'm saying? These guys on stage together, but fellas.
I mean, you know
was
what I mean?
beautiful, though.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, there's
It was epic to
money
watch,
to be
man.
made. We all,
That's
you know,
right.
people are grown.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'd love
so,
to have been there.
yeah.
like Dame went back, that's Dame. Cam went back to Harlem and Hov went somewhere else on his private jet. That's
Yeah.
what happened.
Can we
Tribeca.
talk? Can we talk
Tribeca.
about some though? Because I saw several people online talking about how the crowd wasn't really. They wasn't as into the show as they should. Like it wasn't. And I saw that from like I called that from deep. I was like, oh man, like. You know, Hov is gonna charge like an astronomical amount of money for these tickets, and it's gonna be all like, you know, all these.
Yeah. Well, there you
know,
go.
hype beast gentrifiers coming in.
When you charge a certain amount of
Colonizers.
money,
You know what I
the
mean?
colonizers, when you charge a certain amount of dollars for your crowd, you're going to get a certain type of crowd.
But-
That's just what it is.
Look, to offer up a counterpoint, we all love Jay-Z. We've
Right.
listened to his
Yes,
music
sir.
for years. This is pretty consistent with the character that he is in his music. He is a hustler.
yeah.
Well,
You buy it
we're
for
not-
$1,
we're
you
not
sell it for $2.
We're not knocking Jay. We're just saying, like, the crowd response was lackluster because you needed them $20 heads in there who's going to
Exactly.
get ignorant. You know what I'm saying?
Who's gonna know when In My Lifetime comes on?
Right.
Right.
They gonna know it.
Know the
You know what I
cuts.
mean?
Like, when you go to Yankee Stadium, J-Mo, it's not
was-
the lower bowl, it's the bleacher bowl.
I was thinking that same thing when Sincere made that point, is that, like, depending on where you sit at a baseball game, you could always tell, like, who really gives a shit about
Right.
this.
Exactly.
But I'm
Baseball
I'm way up
reference.
there with the real fans.
There you go.
Shout to the Pinstripe Pass.
I
There you
mean,
go.
yeah, because them lower bowl tickets is like Super Bowl tickets.
That's
Day
a
to day.
dub. Fuck that.
But like no Dame, no. Jimmy, Cam,
I
but
think-
no Dame?
Well,
What the hell?
Biggs
Jimmy
was
and
there.
Dame had some issues,
Biggs
didn't
was
they?
there.
Yeah.
Jimmy and Dame
Biggs
had,
was
some,
there?
they had a little beef.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I didn't even peep that.
Everybody but Cam. I mean Dame.
Damn.
Wow.
Well, didn't Jimmy and Dame have beef?
Maybe. I don't know.
I think
I
they
feel
had,
like they go
had
back
some
and
words
forth.
back and
But
forth.
Jimmy and Dame's beef doesn't supersede the relationship that Jay and Dame had, though.
Well, maybe behind closed doors, it's ugly.
But
and he
J-Mo,
apologized recently.
Biggs,
So.
Yeah.
Cam, Jimmy, Hove. Where's Dame?
Yeah, I never liked Dame Dash. I never
I
liked
love
his
Dame.
whole
Where was Bleak?
vibe. I think he's
Dame-
kind of
You
a tool.
wouldn't like Dame.
Yeah, you know me. You know me, motherfucker.
Dame
You
was a
don't want the
necessary
loud
evil,
guy.
man.
You know?
I want to be the loud
That's
guy.
dope, but
Right.
you,
Yeah.
you don't like the loud wrong guy. Because you're going to poke holes in
And
everything
he's
he
fucking,
says.
and he's ignorant.
I love
He was a
Dame.
necessary
Dame's
evil,
Yeah,
man.
necessary. Applaud that line.
I agree with that. That don't mean I gotta like him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I miss you guys, man.
I miss you guys too.
Old Town Road.
Let's hug.
From one extreme to the next, another high point of April.
Take my
Whatever.
horse.
Well, however you feel about this record, you know, I want to throw it to Langston Leguizamo. You
Yeah.
never said enough about this song. I don't know what's going
Well, because I mean, first of all, I don't really like the song.
on. What?
You're surprised.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I like. I mean, and me and True were talking about it
Guess
before
what?
the episode.
Get it? Yeah. Wait till y'all get a load of my take.
Oh, God.
Oh, all right,
go ahead,
buckle
go
up,
ahead.
fellas. No, I don't like the song. I don't enjoy listening to it, but I like that there's a young artist who's toying around with genres in that way. That's kind of throwing a wrench in the machine. I think that's cool, but I don't really give a shit about the song. personally.
Didn't he?
I'm shocked as hell that you don't love the
That
song.
song
I'm
was
right
shocked
up
that
your
you guys are
alley.
so
No,
shocked.
because that song is tailor-made for a J-Mo hot take.
Right up your alley.
Yeah, I'm not. No.
I think the song
I'm
is
not
cool.
giving you all the satisfaction.
I think the song is no worse than
Yo.
a lot of what I hear every day.
But it's not actually bad.
And it's not a bad
It's
song.
not a bad song. I think it's an objectively good song.
It's a blend. It's like country and rap, so it's crunchy, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
Are you grooving it though, Deanie?
Would I play it like in a live? Like would I play it?
Are you playing it?
If
on
I'm
your
in a
commute
spot and it
home?
comes on, I'll probably get a little in the head bod on it as I
Okay.
sip my yak or my Jameson. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Shout out to you.
Yo, shout out to this beat in the background.
Fire.
Sincere the Rap Snob does it again.
I laced
That's
this
me.
beat at one point too.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Oh, word?
No, you did. You sent it to one of them
did.
vibes
That's
on.
it.
Yeah. Applaud you again,
You
man. You on
supposed to get the
fire.
second
Nice.
verse.
And I remember your reaction.
I'm available.
That's why I was like, let me send
This was the one that he
like
snapped on.
Yeah.
Yes,
You
yes,
went in.
yes.
Vibe.
Deanie raps, y'all. Listen to the intro.
I have my moments.
Sincere the Rap Snob.
Yeah.
Are we ready?
Old Town Road.
First of all, let me say, I think Langston be playing chess with us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
think-
I'm just
I think it's
breaking
like-
bread with
it's like-
friends.
Remember
This is
what
not
I said the
chess.
last
This is
episode?
not a competition.
Because depending on what we say, you might go the other way.
Get out of here.
He's like,
Sincere, you
wait,
won't
wait.
be friend.
I kind of like the song, but they might also like it. So let me
now
not
I
like
can't
it.
And he moved the chest, and then look, he went like this, moved the chest, because I got that. Checkmate,
Dude,
bitch.
what you mean, bro?
Classic.
I'm not mad at it at all. Like it comes on and I'm like, oh, all right. Like
It's
Wow.
not bad.
it's not bad. Also, I'm like, cause well, I don't follow it, but I see like his tweets on Twitter and stuff because they be going viral and shit. And the kid, he doesn't take himself seriously at all.
I like that about him.
You know what I mean? So
Wears country
like,
hats, Western button-up shirts. You know what I'm saying?
you know what I mean? And he's not
enjoying it.
he's not putting himself in a
Fuck
position.
outta here.
He's not putting himself in a position where it's like, yo, I got the hottest song,
Right.
and you know, like y'all old school heads be like, you know,
I'm a young
wilding
nigga trying to
out.
come up.
Dave-
Fuck
You know what I
these
mean?
distance.
But
he
he's
had a
just-
nice little reply when Davies dissed him.
He did. He was like, I mean, shouts to him, but like, I have the #1 song, so
Yo,
why
why
would I
is
care
Davies
what he
hating,
says?
man? I love Davies. You don't gotta hate, bro. You hot in your own right.
Yeah.
don't like
but
the
I
song.
mean,
You don't like
it's,
the
but it's
song.
not
The
hate.
song's
Like,
cooking.
if it's his opinion, like your opinion, that it's not.
That's
you know,
all
he
right.
doesn't like the song.
Touche.
He's allowed to say that. But
Well, he's also allowed to keep it to himself.
I think somebody might have asked him about it. I don't know.
Oh, maybe. Oh, see, I didn't know that.
In an interview or something.
But this is the thing, like, where does Davies get off even taking that salvo at a dude who's minding his business? Can someone answer that for me? Because I feel
can't
I'm
answer
such
Essentially,
that.
not even in your genre.
Right.
Not even trying to be
He's
in
here
your
getting
genre.
country music spins, and you worried about Lil Nas X, Old Town Road?
Yeah.
What the hell?
Man.
Again, like, I didn't know what it was. I think you guys spoke about it in the group chat before I was even fully aware of what the hell was going on. And then the satellite radio, of course, they play everything first. I listened to the joint, and I'm like, I don't think it's a country music song at
It's
all.
a Migos beat with a country
Yes.
vibe, bro.
But then I started hearing the little bop, and I'm like, I got the horses in the back. I'm like, oh, this is all right.
Not bad.
Because you know what
And
it
then he
is?
took the Kanye rip.
Right.
Can't tell me nothing.
And the thing is like, people struggle with not knowing what to take seriously and what not to take seriously.
Right.
So if like you're overreacting to this record, then you don't know what this song is. Completely satire in and of itself.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
And I think that's a great point because I feel like generally speaking, satire is lost on a lot of people.
Oh yeah.
So like
you need more human interaction to understand what
Right.
satire is these days.
So yeah, no, it's definitely it's tongue in cheek.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not something.
Is it
that-
tongue in cheek?
I feel like
Son
it
is
is.
talking about drinking lean on the song.
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel the vibe
vibing.
behind it is very much like, you know.
So it's like a Weird Al Yankovic vibe,
no,
not that far.
not that
or like an
far.
Afro Man vibe. Getting
a-
warmer, maybe?
Yeah, a little, a little
More like
Or
just
like
playing with
a
the game, you know what I'm
50
saying?
Cent is the
no,
future.
like
vibe?
remember like Biz Markie.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like Biz Markie was not a lyricist. He made fun songs.
Right.
Everybody
Okay.
knew he made fun songs, and they weren't meant to be taken seriously or whatever. But I think that's sort of the vibe that this song has, and I think he's fully aware of that, and I don't think he's trying to fight that. You know what I mean? Whereas certain artists will in my opinion, again, make shit music and be like, yo, like if you don't like it, it's just because like, you know, you're an old hater or like, you know,
Since you don't like that.
like, you know, hip hop is evolving and this is what it sounds like now, you know what I mean? But like sometimes you just make music that's not meant to be taken that seriously, but sometimes certain artists will take their music way too seriously, even when they didn't make it that seriously. You know what I mean? Like 6ix9ine.
Right.
6ix9ine will absolutely
I don't think 6ix9ine
admit
took
to
his
you.
music seriously.
That's what I'm saying. But I don't think he absolutely admitted that he didn't take his music seriously. But if somebody said something about him, right, then he'd be like, oh, you know, you're hating on the newer generation.
Right. So you like how Lil Nas is not defensive.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like I think he understands his standing in everything.
Well, to
You know what I
even
mean?
make that record, you gotta be of a certain kind of disposition anyway. Like, serious rapper guys not making Old Town Road, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
You just
Don't
gotta
laugh,
have
Diddy,
fun
I'm
with it,
just
man.
saying.
You just gotta have fun with it, man. He feel like he's having fun with it.
Yo, what's with the kid's name? Lil Nas? Is he paying homage to Nas?
Maybe his name is
No
Nas.
idea.
Hey.
But somebody dug up an old Nas picture with a cowboy hat.
Oh yeah, I see that.
It was like Big Nas X.
yeah, he's a fool for that one.
Another on the
that
legendary
from his
list of
R&B
Nas
waves.
lost.
That was.
One man
I think that was. I don't know if y'all remember Allure back in the day, the R&B group
yeah,
Allure.
yeah.
I think it was
They
from
do
that
something with
video.
LL Cool J too, I think, didn't they?
Allure?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
they-
think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they had a little vibe for a second.
Yeah.
Speaking of Nas, you know, segue.
Oh,
Big Nas, no X.
big homie. Legend, the GOAT.
Arguably his magnum opus.
All right.
Oh yeah.
25.
Go ahead,
Oh,
go
he's
ahead.
taking the shirt off, guys. Here we go.
Wow.
Of course he wears a
Yo, is
Nas
this really
shirt
necessary?
to the Rap Roundtable. What a fucking snob.
basketball.
Let me show you my shirt, blood. Go, get out of here,
I wore it last time because I didn't have the foresight.
Yeah, this nigga
That
with
we
the
might
same
talk
shirt every
about
day.
The hater in me,
Oh, he got 50 of them shits. Which
the hater in me wants to boo this moment so bad.
You don't got to
Nas,
do this,
that's the
man.
I'm not gonna boo you, bro. I'm gonna let you be
I'm
great.
fucking with you, you know.
Hey,
5 mics.
Illmatic, the magnum
go.
opus, the greatest
Bang, bang,
entry. You know, only dude who made a better entry to anything was Thanos in Infinity War. We're not gonna talk about Endgame.
No spoilers.
You know what I'm saying? Infinity War was a year ago, bro. They better have seen
Oh my
that by
bad.
now.
I get them mixed
Infinity
up.
War. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Today.
But that debut album, that monster, that genre-shifting monster,
Yeah.
turns 25. We heard enough of you, Sin.
No.
Langston.
But hold up.
What?
But you
He
giving it
gonna
this,
let me finish,
No,
but-
because you gonna give it this big intro and then be like, it was alright. It was better.
I was just gonna pass it to Langston.
All right. Go ahead.
Langston, what does Illmatic mean to you 25 years later?
I mean, it's my favorite album in any genre. It's fucking brilliant, man.
Okay.
The standard of lyricism, I think where lyricism was in 1994, where Nas took it, I'm not sure that there's been a bigger jump in hip hop history. The production is handled by some of the best in the history of the genre, and it was a real needle mover in that respect.
Yeah.
Because before Illmatic, it was, kind of understood that an MC and one producer collaborated and they put an album together. And Illmatic was the first, at least the first successful album that featured not only a group of producers, but the hottest producers at the time. It's fucking great, man. I love it. I think my favorite song is probably either Memory Lane or One Love.
One Love is amazing. I love it.
One Love, and I love how like the first two verses follow this strict concept, and then he just totally goes left on verse 3.
on verse
One of
3.
my all-time favorite verses from anyone, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get teary-eyed. Someone else talk about how
Make
beautiful
me
this
feel some
album
type of way.
is.
To me, Illmatic is, since I'm an analogy man. Okay.
Please don't call it Nas' second best
No,
album.
but that's the way.
Relax.
See?
I'm sorry.
Calmate, senor. Okay. So, the best way for me to describe it is, what's a movie that's amazing? It basically revitalized a genre, but the
Dark
second
Knight.
one just hits you better.
The Godfather.
Godfather. I was
Yeah.
gonna say.
Yeah.
There's
Godfather
Godfather
2 is
1
my
and then
favorite movie of
Godfather
all time.
2.
For what
Depending on who you talk to.
Illmatic-
Godfather 2 is better.
Illmatic is an amazing album. I
Nah.
take nothing away from it.
You're right.
But vocally, to me, It Was Written just hits me better, bro, as an album. And I have no disagreement with that's your fave. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of like somebody would say, "Who's your fave?" Pacino, De Niro, and Heat. I'll be like, "Damn, that's a hard."
But that's hard.
way
But
to
this,
go.
but Illmatic versus It Was Written is not hard. They're both good albums. One
Great
is
albums.
phenomenal. The other is
young
just another good rap album.
Hey,
Making me feel
I don't
some type of
know.
way.
We'll support your argument, man.
No, are we half and half on this table?
I didn't even say
I can't
anything
believe
yet.
this.
I
Nah,
just-
you've said it. No, in
I
past
didn't-
episode, you've said.
Listen.
All right.
I just didn't even finish.
Sonically, I just certain songs, bro. I mean, like just the message.
Like, all right, the message.
Shootouts.
All right.
Well, you know, shout out to Pop Dukes. My father.
Talk to me.
This might be his favorite album. Like the man.
Really?
The man loved it so much that when they put it back on cassette, like maybe 10 years ago, he went and bought the cassette.
You know about Illmatic?
Yeah.
Wow.
And he let me hold it. And I was-
Wow. Shout out to Job
I
Senior,
told
man.
you, my pops is a young kid. I told you he's
Yeah,
ahead,
man.
bro.
What a homie.
You know,
I had no
Job
idea.
Pops.
I've been dropping the little Easter eggs. My father's a hip hop head, bro.
Wow.
Wow.
You know, he got the cassette. He let me hold it for a second. You know, the album is amazing. Let's be fair. I'm taking my troll
That's a
hat
hot take.
completely off.
Nothing against it.
Because every part of me wanted to just say, it's all right. You know, just the front of the table.
You can't even.
But I'm
Not-
in a-
not today, not
Not today. Because of the occasion. Amazing album. Like I said before, genre shifting. The approach that Langston brought up to having multiple hot producers at a time, putting the package together acoustically, sonically, that we've never heard before.
First time it was done.
Right. But I am with Dini. I'm not saying that It Was Written was the better album. It is the album that I prefer more.
See, but that's not what Dini's saying. Dini's saying that It Was Written is a better album. Or am I misinterpreting you?
I'm saying no. I didn't say it was. I said to me, like if someone said Illmatic is the better album, I would say no. I can't argue it. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it's close, is what
But
you're
I
saying.
just love it. It was written, bro.
Right.
The album is
Right.
just.
Bro, I
All right.
remember the first time I listened to It Was Written. I was in a kid party, at whatever age I was in when it was out, and I listened to it on a Walkman, front to back.
I was 12.
This shit was amazing. But
hit me.
I'm gonna get out the way, full ISO for the rap snob and his T-shirt.
Listen. 5 mics, man. 5 mics.
5 mics.
First
No
album in
argument.
the history of the Source magazine. To
That's
get
actually
5 mics.
that's not true. I'll make.
Wait,
I'll
what?
Make,
I
I think
no,
something
it's
came
not.
before it.
Yeah, there were a few actually.
Really?
Here's the thing though, and I'll make like
I've been lied to.
so. There's a growing segment of listeners like Dini and Jov, who you know, but they don't have the nuance of saying.
Oh boy.
They don't have the
Here we go.
nuance of saying,
He's
no,
about to
It Was
take
Written
out
is my
school.
favorite, but
Here we go
Illmatic is the great. They'll flat out say It Was Written was better. I have a problem with that.
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter too.
Yeah, I have a problem with that, right? Because like how you say that like,
But
you know, when people
I
compare
end that with
Mike
to
and
me,
Kobe,
though.
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And Kobe is better.
Yeah.
Right?
Stop it. Stop.
No, but see,
but
he's
Mike is
quoting me.
great. But Mike
if
is
you
greater.
Let's be clear.
But if you ended in these special 2 words, which I always use, to me.
But Mike
You know
is
what I'm saying?
greater.
Mike
You know what I mean?
is greater.
Right. Illmatic
but
is
this-
the greater album.
No question.
Well, that's.
That's what I'm saying.
But just in
For
terms
impact
of
and
if
everything.
you have your own opinion, your own preference, like It Was Written or maybe even Stillmatic or whatever, that's cool.
Now
You know what I
we're
mean?
crazy.
But Illmatic is the greater album.
Yeah.
Right? And as far as I'm concerned, the greatest.
I was just gonna ask you that. Is it the greatest album in the history of hip hop music? I think that it. I mean, there's a short list. I put Cuban Links there. Put Enter
There's
the Wu
Cuban
Tang
Links, Enter
there.
the Wu-Tang,
Put a few others, but like I think it's
Before that,
definitely
there
in the
was Faithful.
discussion.
Now here's the thing too. Like the growing segment of people that are like downplaying Illmatic. I feel like it's a millennial thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's people like.
Deanie's not a millennial. Are you a millennial, Deanie?
Stop saying Deanie says it's better.
I'm sorry, Deanie. I'm picking on Deanie. Last episode it was Sin. This episode
I
is
don't know
Deanie.
how we
Don't love me
feel.
like you do.
I don't know how we feel about talking about ages here. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I'm out of that. I'm definitely out of that millennial
Oh
range.
yeah, you have your own millennial.
Right. So
Yeah, you spawned a millennial.
He's
Oh no, he's a
generation
Gen Z, right?
Z.
Yeah.
Gen Z. Now there's a whole new generation. So, but I feel like, it's a millennial thing where like they weren't there for the impact of Illmatic, so they don't get it. So I recently started following this new account on Twitter who also has a podcast. And I was looking at some of the videos. He's a few years older than me.
Right.
And so he was saying how Illmatic was cool, but he had already felt that type of impact from earlier albums before Illmatic. Like Paid in Full.
Okay.
Like, what was it? King of Rock, Run DMC.
No way.
Kane?
I don't
Paid
know
in
about
Full is a
Kane.
great album. Paid in Full is nowhere. It's not in the same neighborhood as Illmatic. I'm sorry, it's not.
You can't say that though. You can't say that.
I
to
can.
somebody.
I just did.
Well, you true. But if you go and listen to Paid in Full, and it wasn't from your era, it might not hit you the same way. But Paid in Full absolutely paved the way for Illmatic type.
Absolutely, 100%. But the album is very dated.
Well,
Illmatic
there's
sounds.
a lot of people.
Illmatic is not dated. Illmatic is timeless.
To
Paid in Full
me,
is not-
it is.
Well,
To you, it is.
this is
some
what
people will say. This is why some people will say it was written as a better album
This is why
because
I'm gonna jump in
there's
here.
more
I think the Generation Z will listen to Illmatic and just blow
Right,
their
there-
brains out.
Right.
there's more.
Because-
Right, go ahead.
I'm sorry, Sin.
Go ahead.
But I think he's probably gonna say the same thing I'm about to say. People of this millennial generation will say that, there's other things better than Illmatic because acoustically sounds have changed. You know what I mean?
Right.
Things just sound better. Like Illmatic, while timeless, is still more of a product of its time than it was written. You know what I'm saying?
Agreed. Agreed.
Like it was written, came in the middle of the shiny suit era.
Right.
So like he had to compete. Whereas Illmatic sounded like early 90s, late 80s. So
Right.
if a goofball millennial hears this and he can't get with it, it's because he's not accustomed to those sounds at all.
Right,
Like
exactly.
it's really not in his gene code whatsoever.
The beats are so slowed down
Right.
from back then, so he might just think, it's like watching a movie with no bombs and shit for a lot of these kids.
There you,
entertaining for
ding
them.
that. There you go.
You know,
Something like that.
Brookhaven.
I mean, because here's my thing. I think it was written checks off more items off the complete album list.
I disagree with that.
That it had the radio single.
Oh
It had
well, okay.
the posse cut.
I misinterpreted what you said.
No, I mean, like in terms of what people look for in a complete album. You know what I mean?
Complete in the commercial sense.
Well, yes, because here's the thing. While Illmatic changed the blueprint of how we made albums in terms of like from one producer to a group of super producers, which everybody then followed suit. Also at around the same time, Biggie and Bad Boy came through and was like, we're gonna have these, this gutter shit, but we also gonna have the
Right.
glitzy
Right.
radio shit.
Deanie has a point.
I gotta take
Go ahead.
that kind of works with more towards making you right, which with the truth.
Which you hate right now, but
but I'm a man of truth. So if I spoke to someone right now and I said, what album do you not have in your music collection? If they told me it was written, I'd be more upset that they don't have it in their collection. But they told me they didn't have Illmatic, I probably wouldn't even respect them as a hip hop fan.
Right. You don't even count.
Like,
right.
Yeah.
and that's
It's
works
right.
towards you,
It's
but it
it's the
such a
status
pillar
of, it.
of hip hop, bro. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Now, you mentioned earlier how Illmatic was the first album in the Source to get 5 mics.
Right, which I thought was true, but apparently you're gonna tell me I'm wrong.
Well, yeah. So there were a few before that. There were actually 2 Tribe Called Quest albums.
Really?
Yeah.
Electric.
It was 92.
Low End Theory No, that's the one. That's the one before with Electric Relaxation. That was Midnight Marauders.
There was
with
one
Electric.
before Low End Theory. Which is the one before Low
But
End
the
Theory?
one before Low End, there was also Instinctive Travels.
There we go.
With Bonita Applebum and all that, right? Both of those albums got 5 mics. There was an Eric B and Rakim album.
Hard.
Probably
there
like
was-
Follow the Leader or something.
No, it was
Paid in
actually Let the Rhythm Hit 'Em.
Let the Rhythm. See, I kind of
Oh.
like that's a really good album. That I kind of like that more than Paid in Full. Even mad props to Paid in
I
Full.
love Paid in
Here
Full.
we
though,
go.
bro.
But no, but Let
You're
the
doing
Rhythm
the
Hit 'Em.
same thing he did to Illmatic to Paid in Full right
Hey
now.
man, yo,
But I'm
y'all know
admitting
me,
it.
bro.
And there was like maybe like a couple other, but my point is this.
What about Enter the Wu-Tang? I'm sorry, it's in
Enter the Wu-Tang, I remember, got 4.5.
Yeah, they didn't get 5.
It was
That's
4.5.
criminal.
And there was a bunch of albums that the Source then went back
Yeah,
years later and
I remember that.
retroactively gave 5 mics.
Yeah.
I think Enter the Wu-Tang was one of them. But the point is that I think in 1994, the album that before that had gotten 5 mics was Low End Theory by Tribe Called Quest, which was like in 91, 92.
Sounds right.
And so I think in '94 the Source had hit its stride, like it had reached its plateau as the definitive
Like Source.
hip hop, periodical hip hop, Source,
Yeah.
right? Magazine.
The Hip Hop Bible, as they called themselves.
Right, exactly. And so like before that, they were still growing, and so Nas and the Source were both climbing at the same time.
Right. So
And
it was like a beautiful marriage.
Right, and so and Nas comes out with this amazing pure album, Illmatic, and the Source is right there at its highest point up to that point, and so like it had it had a much larger audience, and so there was like this much larger group of people that were reading the Source and was like, oh, word, 5 mics, let me check this out. Even people that hadn't heard of Nas, you know what I mean? And so I think that's something that plays into the lore of Illmatic.
Yes.
You know what I mean? The fact that it wasn't just the album, but this publication that everybody went to, right? It wasn't really much. It was Vibe, but Vibe was, in
Not the
the
same.
R&B.
Definitely not the same.
You know what I mean?
Vibe
Just-
covered like black culture with a focus on music specifically.
Right.
Source
But
was a
Source
hip hop
R&B too,
magazine.
though.
rap, hip hop,
Yeah, exactly.
direct.
Or even like,
right?
Lenny Kravitz.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
exactly.
Just black.
Right. So yeah, I think that played a major role in the lore of Illmatic, right?
Oh, well-
It doesn't change my opinion one
I
bit.
learned something today.
Yeah. I still think.
Yo, Sin, let me ask you something,
Yeah,
bro.
what's up?
What's the better album, Illmatic or Ready to Die? What was the best hip hop album of 1994?
Oh, Illmatic, hands down.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
But
No, hands down.
they're very intelligent people who I respect.
You know
who say
what's
Ready
the
to
best
Die.
part of that question is the fact that that question can be asked. We're in 2019 and we can't do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Time.
saying? That's a
Yeah.
little depressing for me. But we're gonna shift gears.
Yeah.
One more time, can we put it up for Nas?
Yeah, hell yeah, we
That's
can.
what
To the legend.
You know what I mean?
Queensbridge.
Salute.
Again, there's classic albums and then there's genre shifting albums. He changed the way rappers did things. That's more important than anything else for me. Kendrick Lamar, Langston, your man.
My man.
Your guy. Some audio came out where he was tapping Big Sean. My guy. I like Big Sean.
Yeah, that's the hill you're gonna die on, Jarv.
Hey, you know what? I like this hill.
Yo, live your truth, bro.
Hey, it is what it is.
You my man, I fuck
I've
with
been backing Jose. I've been backing Big Sean to Jose for years. I've been in the DM like, yo, bro, Big Sean is that guy, bro. I think he could be right
I'm
next to
like-
Drake.
Endless shrug emojis, bro. Like, all right.
We all got that thing, you know. We all
Yeah.
have a rapper we like that we shouldn't like. But were you able to hear?
I did hear the
bars?
snippet. I'm not as convinced as everyone else is
The
that he's
finally
talking about
famous
Big
line.
Sean.
Who else would he be talking about?
It could
Finally
be
famous?
anybody. Well, all I remember him saying was that you're finally famous because of your raps and not because of who you're dating. I feel like that could apply to a lot of
Come
people.
on,
But look
bro.
Big Sean's track list, bro.
Well, I don't fuck with Big
Them
Sean.
Ariana Grande relationships
But
and
the chicks he
toxic
dates.
relationships and
I
stuff.
mean, so does like
Janelle,
Alex
yo.
Rodriguez. You know what I'm saying? A lot of
He
people
has
out
some
here in
notable
these streets.
women. He
finally
had-
famous
Janelle-
Alex Rodriguez.
Who was the girl before Ariana Grande that he made the I Don't F With You record about?
She was like
one
on
from Glee.
on TV, right?
Yeah.
She was on that show Glee. Yeah.
That's some famous women.
Yeah.
Nailon or something like
Something
that.
Yeah,
like
but
that.
like so have a lot of rap. Like so is
But that combined
That
with
goes-
finally famous.
His debut album.
that's-
see that went
you know.
over my head. That's you know.
That's your man. So you're supposed to be into it.
Yeah, but Big Sean isn't my man. I didn't get the Big Sean reference.
Oh, you really don't mess with Big Sean.
It's not my brand of
if
whiskey.
you don't know,
you know?
Finally-
So you gonna listen
That's
to
the
Little
name is
Pump,
like his whole
but
wave.
not Big Sean.
It's
I
like-
don't, dude. I
it's like-
don't like Little Pump. Okay, I just
Love him.
You put me in a
That
position.
was salacious. I'm sorry. You didn't deserve that.
It's okay, man. I deserve all of it.
Lang is
Yo,
a J-Mo man. He
I'd
don't-
be
he don't mess with
driving
the
y'all
Jim
crazy.
Beam.
I don't
no
mind when you
shame on.
break my balls a little bit.
Hey, so what's up, Didi? You know, let's go with this Big Sean, Kendrick Lamar
He's
situation.
cooking them.
Yo, Dini is high as fuck right now.
Yeah,
I just
he
want the
is.
audience to know
He
that.
looks
I'm just
Asian right
relaxing,
now.
bro.
Eyes is cheeky as hell,
I'm in a
bro.
beautiful place right now. I think he's touching them, and you know they say that Sean's coming out of a place of depression.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just cooling out,
And
getting
that's a
his
serious
bearings.
topic, yeah.
Maybe he's just getting his bearings right before he attacks. Summer's coming, bro. So I feel like it's open season on anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but why not Drake? Why does he go after Drake? That's what we want to see, right?
Drake loves everybody. Haven't you noticed?
Big hugs.
Yeah, that shit don't matter.
Big hugs.
You don't love Pusha.
Yeah, nah, but Pusha violated though.
That's a different type of thing. Pusha T don't really like Drake so much. He doesn't
Push-
like,
Push
he
kinda
doesn't like
stepped over
Aubrey
the
the
line.
man.
Yeah.
You understand me?
There's no coming back from that one. Well, maybe.
I don't.
Over-
I don't
Child.
see. Unless I was like an old snippet, I don't see why Kendrick is still going at Sean. I don't really
because
get
it's
it.
fun.
Because but Sean
Maybe
had.
that's his
When's
peers.
the last time Sean put something out? The Metro Boomin album,
Yeah,
right?
and that was like 2 years ago.
That was
Maybe
mad
the
long
snippet
ago.
is from like years ago.
It might be
Maybe
an old
Kendrick like
snippet
lay something
that-
down and say, yeah, I ain't gonna use it.
But why does Kendrick hate Sean so much?
Well, Sean, I remember the Control verse.
Yeah.
There were some interviews I think immediately after that where Sean said that he had the best verse on the song. I bet Jarv agrees with
He
that.
did. I've been saying it for years.
Yeah, but anyway, but he said it in a way that I could see the competitor in Kendrick kind of going, "Hey, watch your mouth now, boy." You know what I'm saying?
All Kendrick did was name a bunch of rappers.
That's not all. Tell Flex to drop a bomb on his shit. That Farrakhan, that's Vietnam.
I know people that think that Jay Lex
It's not. It wasn't just the name drop.
Thank
Nah,
you,
he
Didi.
went off on that.
He flamed that
He
track.
just called some names. That's all he did. Y'all niggas got
That's
hype.
not.
That's a hot take, Jarv.
God.
Jarv with the hot takes.
The New York thing got people's feathers ruffled though.
Yo, we could all name names here. Like we're not gonna say. We're not
If
gonna.
I
come
drop
off
We
like
do it
this.
every episode.
F. Deanie, Langston, and said, my shit will ring off right now.
They gonna hit me up like, yo, what you think about Jarv said fuck Links? I'm be like, yo, that's my man. he be wildin', you know?
Oh my God. But like, the Control interview got Kendrick feeling competitive since then?
First of all, calling it an interview.
Hey, it is what it is.
Yo, Jarv is drunk.
I am.
Jarv is trying to host this podcast. He's trying to run the offense, and he's a little after the bag.
See me at the end of the episode.
No, but I mean, I still stand with what I said a couple minutes ago. Again, unless it's an old snippet that just leaked,
Yep.
I would think Kendrick would be like way past that at this point,
But a
right?
year ago, a year and a half ago, before Damn dropped, he had the hard part 4 when he was punching.
Yo,
Sean in the
that
face then,
track.
too.
That's
Fuck,
What
that.
did Sean?
killed.
What did Sean do? Did,
That's true,
did Kendrick
too.
like Janae
They
first?
might- listen,
But let's
there
say
might-
let's say
there
Kendrick just
might
want to
be some
rap. Who
behind the
could he
scenes
rap
shit.
against today if he just wanted to rap? Who's on the
what?
menu?
Today?
Let's say he just said, you know, I just
I
want
already
to
told
battle.
y'all Drake is gonna beat him, bro. I already said that.
Yo, I cannot
Drake don't
wait.
want that smoke.
I cannot
for
wait.
real. Everybody that's worth battling is damn near on his team.
Kendrick ain't Pusha. He ain't a better rapper than Pusha.
I think
Yo, how about like Kendrick versus Pusha?
that
I'd
would be
pay
a
money
goodie.
to see that.
yeah.
Goodie.
Yeah, that, I don't want
Nah,
to pick that.
But
Yeah, I
I
don't
mean,
wanna pick that.
I'm still giving it to Pusha, bro.
I'm
That's just how I
in the
feel.
same circle.
Team
Like,
Kendrick.
if Kendrick needs to go as somebody, it gotta be Drake. That's the only.
Yes.
I mean, Drake just came off of winning like mad Billboard awards.
Like 12 of them things.
That shit was sickening.
I agree, man. I hated that last album. That last album was a fucking chore.
But
it was like going to the
Grammys.
dentist.
It got Billboard. Billboard
Yeah,
doesn't count.
yeah.
Oh,
of
right,
course.
yeah.
Everyone's like,
Yeah,
every fan in the
but you know,
world, B.
but everybody gonna spin it as like, you know, oh, Billboard, that's what counts, that's what the people want, and you know,
don't give a
album
fuck about
sales and blah blah blah.
Fuck Billboard.
You said 2 episodes ago people are dumb. We're not worried about it. Come on.
There we go.
Well, we can't all be
Ding.
rocket scientists like Sincere. You know what I'm
That's a
saying?
fact.
Hey, this guy. Hey, this guy, man.
I kid.
But like, is it Big Sean? Like, does he just look at him as someone? Like, is it because they're both short? Like, what's going on? Like,
I have no idea. There
don't
might
want
be
that
there might be
Big Sean
more to
smoke
it. There might
anyway.
be something like a personal touch to
it
it,
has to be.
which we don't know about because like, yeah, we don't. Kendrick, we don't need this.
Well, I mean, Kendrick didn't put it out himself, right? It kind of like leaked.
Listen, the heart.
But he still made it.
He
He
punched
made
him in
it.
the face.
He was
Yeah, but
cooking.
he shouldn't be held accountable for stuff that he made and didn't put out.
He
Like,
rapped
you make
it.
all
True.
kind of stuff.
He told the engineer to hit play, and he rapped it.
Yeah,
bro.
but that's...
He said what he said.
But not until you hit publish should you be held accountable. That's my argument.
Hey,
like,
my
dude,
thing
yo,
is, what
Jarvis,
if-
we
what
have
if Kendrick
podcasts,
and- what if
right?
Kendrick and
If
Cole
we,
gonna
like,
give us
cut something
collab
from a
album?
podcast, like, I shouldn't have said
Yo,
that.
yeah.
And then, like, that comes out.
Can I say
like, I
something?
shouldn't be held accountable
There
for
are
that.
still
Kendrick and Cole
urban
collab album is
there
necessary.
are
I'm gonna respond
still
to that.
urban hood legends that say that there's whole verses that was going at Nas that
Oh,
never
yeah.
saw the light of day, and there's Nas verses going at Hov that never
There's,
saw.
yeah, and
Well, my
I've heard that about Biggie against Tupac. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
And to your point about podcasting, you're 100% right. Listen, on this episode, you know, I almost died, but we had Super Engineer True to get rid of that.
Shout to the homie.
But you know what I mean?
True.
To me, rapping is different because he wrote the bars. He meant that shit.
Nah, rapping is the same, man.
He wrote the bars. He told son to hit
Dude, like, you
play.
write all kind of crazy
He
shit.
rapped it.
Dude, but if you,
It
like,
got
let's say...
mixed and mastered.
Dog, listen,
Come on.
let's say, we don't know if that
Right,
makes
it
it
didn't-
but
the shit
let's say you
didn't
write
sound
something
dusty.
down.
It didn't sound
Right.
dusty.
Let's say
At
you
all.
write something down and it's whack. And you
Yeah.
say, that shit is whack. Cut
Right.
it. Are we gonna, if we hear it, are we gonna say, that rapper's whack?
No,
Like, no.
no, you're right, Langston. You're right. But what I'm
I
saying
love
is,
hearing you say that.
Yo, he just got a hard on right
You know
now.
what I'm saying?
I got, well,
I'm just saying,
Little chubby.
if it was an acapella, yo, get out of here.
Terrible.
yeah, I'm here all day,
Ah,
guys.
boo that comment.
I mean, I'm here all day.
What I'm saying is, if it was just an acapella and he was playing around in the studio, I'd be cool with that. But he rapped it. He wrote to the beat. He thought that shit out and he rapped it, gave it to the engineer to mix it down, and there's a whole completed copy.
And then he said, we gonna ask.
But then he dropped the hard part 4 years later. He doesn't like Sean, bro.
I don't like Sean either. Fuck that nigga.
Anyway, we're gonna stay with TDE. I've been waiting for this
Oh,
part
yes.
of the pod.
Me too.
We've built towards it. Schoolboy Q, another high point of April.
Fire.
He pushed this album back out of respect for the legend that is Nipsey Hussle.
I didn't know that. Oh.
Yeah, he did it because it was supposed to come out like a week or two before
Yeah.
it dropped.
Oh, wow.
Sure.
That's a
Amazing.
character move right there.
You know, it's LA. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
him
shout
and
to LA.
Alchemist did that too. 'Cause he had a beat tape coming out.
Nice, nice.
Yo, but
Salute
shout to
that.
Sincere for keeping me up to date on all the beat tapes coming
Yeah.
out. He's like, yo, that Schoolboy Q album is dope, but you gotta hear this new Pete Rock album of beats.
Fire.
Shout to you, Sin.
Return of the SP 1200, man.
Yes, sir.
Fire.
Boom back.
Crash Talk, an album that, according to the group chat and what I've seen on social media, it might split the table. But what's new? Deanie's been a little quiet, so we're gonna let you battle.
Fire. It's fire.
Fire,
Fire.
my man.
Fire. The start to the end, bro.
Okay,
Start
okay.
to-
All the way through?
I love it.
All the way through.
I vibed out
Wow,
all the way
okay.
through. And
then-
and shout out to the little girl, the red carpet girls, for
Yeah.
making water look so crazy.
Yeah, that was dope.
Yo,
That was
yeah.
dope.
She cooked that, bro.
That wasn't his daughter, was it?
No,
It was just some random little girl.
It's a child, but the song is dope, and she got the song pumping crazy. He
The
even
kid
showed
is
a level on the
supposedly
gram.
some like actor. She has her own like social media
Yeah,
account run by
she
her.
coming, man.
But she cooked it. She cooked it.
That was so entertaining.
So hold on, Deanie, because we know you have different grades of fire.
Okay.
We have the vibe fire, which is just like it's not like critical
But
acclaim
to
rap.
me, all Schoolboy's Q music is vibe. That's the best part about it. You get
Right.
vibe and you get bars.
But is it a
Yes,
good
I agree with that.
rap album?
Great rap album. I love it.
Great rap album.
I love it.
Wow.
I love it.
Deanie, you know you grade funny.
Nah.
Because
Is it my favorite Schoolboy Q album? No.
okay,
But it will be oxymoron. But I'd say it's a great album.
all right, I dig it.
I like it.
You know, it's funny because on our way over here, we was in an Uber, me and Deanie. And he was talking about like albums he was listening to. He's like, I'm vibing out to that Schoolboy, fire. I'm vibing out to The Baby, it's fire. I'm vibing out to like maybe 2 songs off the Offset album.
Yeah. No.
That's a definition of a backhanded
joints.
compliment.
Two or
I'm
three
about this
joints
close to
that's
deleting that
fire.
Offset album off my phone entirely.
Yo, and I remember in the last episode, he was talking about how he liked the album. Now he's talking about
Now, there's
You gotta let the
two or
smoke clear, bro.
three that I really. Well, there's 3. There's the joint with Big Rube, the first one, Legacy, and Clout's starting to catch on to me. It's starting to catch on because everything is a Clout
Anyway,
world.
we were just saying the episode about Offset.
Yeah, no,
Sincere.
yeah.
Trash talk.
It's it's cool. It's a cool album.
Blah blah.
Cool.
What you gonna hit me with?
Come on, son.
All right.
What you don't like
Just
about it?
waiting on it. So here's my take.
Get the fuck out of here.
Nicely done, Jar.
Here's my take on it. I like Schoolboy, right? And I've listened to his albums leading up to this album, right?
Right.
And I felt like all those albums were like trying to perfect a sound, like from what was the first one? Habits
Oxymoron?
and no, before that, Habits and
Habits and something. Yeah.
yeah.
Contra something.
Yeah.
Contradiction.
Habits and Contradictions, over to Oxymoron, over to the fire.
Blank Face.
Blank Face. That
Fire.
Blank Face LP is so fire.
That's Robert Bank music.
That's a fact. And then, so I'm like, oh, he hit his stride on this Blank Face LP album. That's his sound. He's found his sound.
Right.
And then he comes over to Crash Talk, and I'm looking for more of that sound, and then it's not there.
So
It's some of it is there.
Always expect
Right.
that.
Some of it is there.
How many mics you giving the album, Sid?
He's giving it 3.
3. Well, I mean, all right. So Mike's was only 3.5 and then 4.
Yeah,
I'll put it
it's not a
somewhere
great
in
system. I get it.
3.75. I'll give it a 3.75.
So somewhere between
between
3.5 and 4.
Yeah.
That's a really good album.
Out of 5 joints?
You really like the album.
I'm not saying no. That's a cool album. That's a good.
A cool album
Good.
is like 2.5
Quad-
to 3 mics.
No,
the
that's,
3 mics.
No,
is a
if
cool
it's
album.
2.5, it's trash. If I'm giving some 2.5, I'm never listening to that shit again. I'll listen to this. Like, yo, the opener, fire.
Second joint, fire.
the second
Gang,
joint, what was that?
Chopsticks, fire.
I love
Gang, gang.
Chopsticks.
I love chopsticks too.
See,
What's the
that's
song about eating
no.
pussy?
See,
Right up my alley, man.
but that
The thirsty degenerate never
This fucking
disappoints.
guy.
I'm a nasty motherfucker, man. What you want from me, bro?
this fucking
Living
guy.
my truth.
Chopsticks is a cool. It's a good song for what it is. But and he was able to pull it off. Not taking nothing back from Schoolboy. He was able to pull that song off. But it's it's Travis. It's the radio song. It's some
it's
that's
good,
gonna get him some spins. It's cool. It's cool. It's not up my alley, right?
It's not up Sincere's album. Okay.
But yeah, all right.
He's
So
like,
I'm
he's like
going
in
through the track
alley
list.
in like Gotham
Time
City.
out a second.
Yo, gang, the opener is fire.
Yeah.
Tails, fire.
Fire.
Num Num Juice was cool.
Fire.
It was
Cool.
good.
Num Num
It
Juice,
was-
I liked a lot
Cool.
better listening to it in the context of the album.
It was
I
dope,
thought-
bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I
yeah,
thought, but I always thought it was kind of
Yes, the way-
short.
the way it vibes
but
out.
it was good.
Yeah, it fits perfectly.
5200. That's my joint. 5200 is. I be wanting to just to throw my hood on and just like tie the strings tight and just run up
You
on
know-
something.
You don't
like
on
drunk?
5200.
I got something to say to the rap.
All right, go ahead.
I feel like this is another one of those cases where the album is dope, but because it's not what he wanted to hear,
There you
he's
go.
grading it funny.
There you go.
You're not
But-
grading
Yo,
it
this is
on
what
his
I've been
merit.
trying to tell y'all.
But it
I've
just
already accused him
4
of this.
episodes in it, like every episode of this podcast.
it just dropped.
Right.
Maybe, in a couple months I might, give it a few more spins. It might grow on me.
You can
But-
you can eat the best steak of your life
I'll
and
get-
hate it because you wanted chicken, bro.
I'll give you this. I didn't On first listen, I did not like that part.
Oh,
With Kanye
wow.
West.
Wow.
On first listen.
You're bugging.
I am bugging.
Nah, he was
On
bugging.
first listen,
You was
I did not
bugging.
like that part.
What was the
That's
matter?
probably
Were you in a bad
Kanye
mood?
vibed that
I don't know.
out too,
but
Yeah,
I,
fight
but,
with your girlfriend.
but I
So
think,
you
I
probably
think
hated
that-
collard greens too when that first came out.
That's such a good song.
Great song. You like Man of the Year when it came out?
Man of the Year is fire. I love Man of the Year.
That's- I mean,
no,
it's
Man
a
of the
good
Year.
song. I'm
Now,
saying,
here's my other take,
like
though.
Collard Greens.
Here's my other take.
Okay.
I don't think there's anything on this album, unless it's Chopsticks, which I'm not gonna say it is, but I don't think there's anything on this album that's as fire and as big as Man of the Year, or that part. I don't think there's that definitive like go-to anthem-y song that like you throw it on and it's just like. I mean, Chopsticks is cool, but again, Chopsticks I feel is formulaic.
Give Water some time.
Or,
Water?
all right. I agree with Deanie. I fucking love this album. I want to be careful because, like Sincere was just alluding to, we kind of got to give the smoke time to clear.
Yeah, you gotta give a few
But I
spins.
really, really like this album. My favorite thing about it is that Schoolboy is such a versatile artist
That's a
that he
fact.
could give you what like Sincere is looking for, and I'm looking for that same thing, bro. Like that goon shit, that
Right.
num juice shit, that gang shit.
But I can
If you
still
could just
give you
hold on to that,
studio
moment,
stuff
to that
like
thought for a second. I told Jarv this a while ago. Schoolboy to me reminds me of that movie character that like you meet halfway through and you meet him in a dark alley and you don't know whether to trust him or not. But then he likes you, so he's cool with you.
Right.
But at any moment he could fucking like just stab you from behind. Like you just don't know with him.
He's
you know what I mean?
Omar from The Wire?
That's Schoolboy. Yeah, that's Schoolboy, bro.
That's a great way to put it. But I will say though, so you guys know I love 2 Chainz album, but one of the but listen, you guys are haters. One of the flaws with that album is that I think that 2 Chainz is really good at doing one thing, and when he ventures outside of that, he's not great. And I think Schoolboy Q is the opposite of that. I think Schoolboy Q is really
Versatile,
good
man.
at changing the pace.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I love how this album never like everything flows really well. I'm talking about like one song into the other, but it's never, it's not like one of those albums that flows really well but is repetitive. It's not repetitive at all.
Right.
I don't dislike a single song on the album.
I'll give it that. Yeah.
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 Like even the radio stuff, I love Chopsticks. I love the Ty Dolla $ign song. I hated the Ty Dolla $ign song on 2 Chainz album. It really, and oh, by the way, YG fucking killed that song.
You know how you have to listen to it when you listen to an album and it captures a zone and you have to fast forward through a song because that song left that zone.
Not this
I
album.
don't feel not one way.
Exactly.
I can listen to it and
Exactly.
each song blends in as like a medley.
But Deanie,
medley.
but Deanie,
But
listen.
all his albums are like that, and that's what I
Yes,
like
he's
about
really good at
Schoolboy.
putting albums
He's-
together.
Yeah.
About
But
his
Deanie,
versatility.
in that same breath though, it's hard to do that and still like change the pace with each song.
It is.
He's so good at that.
But
Yeah.
he can change up vocally, change up like
yeah.
styles. He's versatile
Yeah.
dude. man.
I mean, I thought Blank Face is. I mean, not Blank Face. That part might be my favorite Schoolboy song ever.
Song?
Ever?
Blank Face is a really good album.
I love Blank
In terms of my favorite Schoolboy Q album, it's between this one and Blank Face. Let's wait for the smoke to clear. But so far this year, like it's this one and it's 2 Chainz, man, and I think I'm giving it to this one. Like I love. By the way, I love the boom chopped and screwed on Crash. That I
Well,
thought was a nice touch.
I'm gonna get in here because the table knows how I feel about Schoolboy.
That's your boy.
For any new listeners that come into this podcast of the new era, that is my choice. I don't consider Pusha T new era. I was in high school when he
That-
came out.
98.
Better than
That's true.
Kendrick.
So-
His man.
First round, 98.
I'm a Schoolboy guy. I'm on record saying multiple times that I think Schoolboy is a better technical rapper than Kendrick. But Kendrick just makes better music. That is my argument.
We'll argue about that on another episode.
Yeah, we will.
Sin is holding back some takes.
Nah, but this is the thing. I know it's an unpopular opinion. I get it. Kendrick is who he is.
Kendrick even said himself
But-
that Absol's a better lyricist than he is.
This is what I'm
He's
saying. Like,
being nice.
like Kendrick, some artists have gifts.
I wish I could see this look that Diddy just gave me.
You ever listen to solo rap, bro?
I'm not really in.
I think that
Listen to
Kendrick
Solo.
on TDE is the best combination of everybody.
Right.
But I don't think he's the best air quote rapper of the crew. I just
feel
think he's the best for the era as far as the ability to. Because he's really good at rapping.
Agreed.
He can flow his ass off. His ear for beats is amazing, and his
Great.
ability to do the right thing on each beat.
He also uses melody a lot
Yes,
more than
that's what I'm
Schoolboy
saying.
does.
Do the
yeah.
right, because a lot of guys can hear a beat, but they don't know to do the right thing
Right.
on that. They don't know how to approach the beat.
Right.
But going to Schoolboy, you know, I love this guy. Like I'm not gonna say I'm early to the Schoolboy party, but I was in the middle somewhere. It was a record that he had with what's his ASAP Rocky, that Weed and Brew record. And I'm like, this is like 2012 era.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo,
Weed and
this
Brew.
dude is amazing. I just like the fact.
was dope too.
Pussy Money Weed. I fucking
Yeah.
love that song
And
so
it-
much.
And it's like, I like to Sincere's point, you don't know if you could trust him or not because he's low key menacing. He's not menacing in the way Push is menacing, but if you listen to his shit,
Right.
it's like, whoa.
He's the kind of
But if
nigga
you-
that like be a friend and then rob you when
Right.
he's
You
earned your trust.
You know why I think you love Schoolboy so much, and it dawned on me on my way over here. Schoolboy is like new age Prodigy. Schoolboy is the new P, bro.
I'm not sure.
No, he is.
Yeah.
though. He
Think so?
is.
Okay, I
Because
got to
wait,
take some time to think
you
about
know
that.
why? You know why he's right? Because Prodigy was menacing, but much like Schoolboy now, there was a charm about that menace that you had to fuck with.
Right.
And it's like, and another thing about P that, you know, R.I.P. to P, that people don't talk about enough is the fact that he's able to build a construct, a scenery,
Yes.
to
Right.
take
He's
you in.
brilliant with constructing an
Right.
arc with his verses. Yes.
Like Schoolboy
Movie,
is the same way.
cinematic.
Schoolboy takes you to LA
Yes,
when you listen.
agreed,
to him. You're
agreed.
right next to him.
That's a
you know
fact.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I really love this album. I said it in a group chat. There's only 2 songs, and there was 3 until I listened. I think I'm on my 7th listen. You know,
Which tracks?
the 2 tracks that I don't care for. I'm sorry, Deanie, but Drunk don't belong there for me.
No,
personally.
I ain't
like
really
drunk.
drunk. I ain't really
Personally.
I
drunk.
love Drunk.
And the
I ain't
other
really
record
drunk.
is a
I ain't
joint with
really
21.
drunk.
I love 21, but Floating to me, if you have water, you don't need Floating. You get what I
That
mean?
is a fair critique, but I
Not a bad
I
critique,
really like the song
But I
though.
do like the song too,
It's
man.
cool.
Like, don't at the end of the day, don't overthink it. Just put the best songs
But
that
this is
you
what I'm
record on the
saying,
album.
but this is the thing, is like, I come from a time where like albums weren't just a bunch of songs on a list.
Right.
It was a cohesive piece of work.
Right.
And I feel like when I listen to Crash Talk, if you throw those out, it's kind of like Drunken Hot Girls on Graduation.
I hated
It's a
that
cool song, but it didn't belong there. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
It's also not a
da,
good song.
da,
I
da.
don't like that song.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think Drunk fits more on this than what's it called? Fit on
Drunk and Hot Girl?
Yeah.
I agree with you.
I'm just using it as an analogy.
I think it works with it, man.
Starting off with Gang Gang, bro. Jesus.
whole lot
Fire.
of fucking gang shit.
And it's like you hear the beat. And this is why I mess with Schoolboy. He might not know what he is, but he's a contrarian, bro. That is a double time beat.
I love contrarians.
That beat is supposed to be rapped a
You are a
certain way.
contrarian.
And Schoolboy rapped behind the beat on purpose and did a hell of a job. And I was rocking with it. Front to back on the first listen, I was rocking with it. But then you know when you listen to albums, you start like critiquing. You start really being critical.
Real
Yeah.
effort on him.
After Gang Gang, as much as Tails is tough, I felt like Num Num Juice shit came right behind Gang Gang. Just to keep that energy rocking. I disagree with Sin. I love Num Num Juice.
Dope.
There's a splash of ignorance while there is a message. The level of ignorance that is there. And the expert rapping. Y'all know I
Yeah.
always say, what about the rap?
Yeah.
To me, Schoolboy did what 2 Chainz tried to do. Have an album with a message, but still give you expert rap. 5200, stupid.
When's the last time a video made you like a song more?
Right.
Num Num Juice
Num Num-
video
the
made
Num Num
you
Juice
love the
video?
song even
Probably,
more, bro.
All Right by
Black
Kendrick Lamar.
folk, stupid.
I love Black Folk.
Fire.
Fire.
Die with
That,
him,
yeah, Black Folk was
stupid.
dope.
Water, stupid.
Fire.
Yo,
You know what?
Lil Baby, my man.
And Little Baby actually rapped.
He murked. Listen,
rapped on
yo,
that
my
verse.
man, Lil Baby, murked that shit, bro.
He was out.
I wouldn't say
He was
that.
aight.
Slow
Come
down,
on,
slow
man.
down,
He was
slow
aight.
down.
Yo,
His-
y'all
his-
sleeping.
his-
Y'all
his-
sleep at the
He
wheel
tried,
right
he
now.
tried to sneak that take in on the low.
Nah, what you mean?
Listen.
You know what I mean? But
Alright.
like to the album itself, you know, there's a lot of talk about the blank face, oxymoron, but I think that this is his best work. And
I agree.
I'm gonna tell you why.
I agree.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because when guys try to step outside of themselves, and our history as rap fans, they compromise the rap.
Gangsta is his best intro.
You know, yeah, hands down. But the fact that he tried to step outside of himself acoustically,
Right.
while not compromising who he was as a rapper and giving you a great package of work, I'm gonna rate it higher than Blank Face because I thought, as much as I love Blank Face, because it's you could say it's cinematic, but you know when you need a movie to hit certain notes, the album didn't hit those
Right.
notes. He said it himself in the interview. The album became too monotonous, and that was the issue that he had.
He
To
said
me,
that?
He said that.
Huh.
He was like, he said his biggest regret was the beat sounding so tight together. He wanted different sounds on the joint. And I think that where he fell short with this album, why it's not a flawless victory, is because he probably went too far left with some of those sounds. You know what I mean? But when you listen to the album, it has a certain tone, the pace changes, the rap is there, the boy can rap.
Yeah,
You get what I mean?
That's a fact.
And he can make a record. So I'm gonna say that this is his best album because of that, because he found a way to still be good at rap, still give you radio records, and still give you that shit. To your point, Sin, I
This is
didn't.
gonna ring off.
I did miss. Yes,
It will ring off.
Telling you.
But I'm not
Sin,
gonna
I
lie.
did miss the Gangsta Crip Schoolboy Q in this album.
But we got plenty of that though.
No, we didn't.
No?
In comparison to Oxymoron and Blank Face, he wasn't cripping that hard in this album. Bro.
Also, the features.
I love the I thought all the features were awesome.
Blankface had Kanye, Jadakiss, the Dog Pound, SZA, Anderson .Paak.
Wow.
While this new album had 21 Savage and Lil Baby. So
I feel like we missed it. Oh, and don't forget about YG.
Travis Scott.
Ty Dolla Sign.
YG. Ty Dolla.
all people that
People that he doesn't care about.
Now, Six Flag. I'm sorry, Black.
You totally disregarded
come on.
all those other people,
Flag?
bro. That's crazy. Six
Black,
Flag.
aka Six Flag.
Slack.
I like Six Flag.
cooked.
A lot.
That song
Yeah.
was fire.
Yeah.
I like that song.
In terms of singing dudes, R&B dudes out there, like Black is cooking.
Cooking.
But yeah, Lil Baby, 21.
I don't like that 21 rapped about like punching a woman in the face. Not great given our current cultural
times,
moment.
right?
Here go Me Too, JMO.
You have to make an appearance at some point.
Sooner or later.
But I love this album, but I miss that because it's like, when I say Gangsta Crip Schoolboy, the first two albums, you kind of saw him take you to LA.
Maybe he ain't cripping as much.
Well, I'm getting there. He talked about what was happening, him being outside. He gave us a little bit of narratives on this album where he talked about situations that happened on certain avenues that he didn't belong on and how it went down. But it was like, I got so accustomed to the menace that much like Sincere, I was expecting it. But in the difference between Sin and I was pleasantly surprised where he went. Because you know what? He's not cripping that hard anymore. He's playing golf.
It's relaxing.
Yeah, yo, he's
You know what I
really
mean?
into golf.
He's really into golf.
If you like
That's
heard the
hilarious,
interviews
dude.
with him,
Yeah.
he loves golf.
Right.
I seen the top 10 things he can't live without interview. That was pretty
That's
funny.
He
crazy,
talked
bro.
about his daughter a little bit more.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
talked about the fact that he needed to get shit done to set the table for the next generation of Schoolboy Q's.
He's growing up.
Right. And I felt sometimes when rappers grow up, it sounds like shit.
Think he's gonna be Schoolman Q now?
Right. It was Schoolman Q. You know what I mean? So it's like I'll still beat you up, but I have different priorities now.
Yeah, better things
and
coming.
I like the way he conveyed that message. Now I'm gonna get out the way.
All right.
That was pretty dope.
And sincere to that, you say what?
I can dig it. I can dig it.
I
Sin
can
is
dig
gonna
it.
love this album the more he listens to it.
I can dig
Give
it.
it time, man. Sit with it.
I'll sit with it. I definitely will.
I didn't like the joint with Cudi, then I listened to it 2 more times.
I don't
and I'm
love
like,
that song.
whoa,
That's
this-
my least favorite song on the album, the Cudi joint.
It's
Really?
growing on me, bro.
Yeah,
I feel
it's
like
not a bad song.
outside of the context of the album, I think it would be a good
It would
song.
stand up better.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
You know
within
what
the
it is?
flow of the album, I don't.
As you
I
listen
think
to
it-
an album more, the songs just start to flow. So like, even let's say you program the song to skip a song. If you listen to the album enough, you'll be waiting for that song that's about to skip, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because it's just so built into the flow of the album.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta let the album just flow out.
I'm gonna
bro.
give Schoolboy
Let it
8
ride
out
out.
of 10. I'm not gonna do the mics thing because it's tricky.
That's 4
8.5,
mics, bro.
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10 is 4
8.5.
mics.
8.5?
8.5.
8.5?
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that.
8.5.
8.5.
Yo,
I'll do
Dini, you're
7.
too generous with your grades,
Way
man.
better than that
You and I
bum-ass
went through this on
2 Chainz
my
album.
podcast.
I think it's dope. What
You said
what
2
else?
Chainz album was the best album this year. That shit is trash.
You guys are the
We're
worst.
gonna go back there.
No.
Do it again.
Yeah, y'all need to sit with that album because
I'll
that
do
album
that.
is fire.
I'm gonna delete that album.
I'll go.
Don't
I'll go
do
se-
it.
I'll
Don't
go.
do it, Joe.
7 because to me, Blank Face LP was like 8.5.
Okay.
So I'll do 7.
I think it's 7.5.
It might grow to a 7.5 the more I listen to it. I just got it.
might go to
Again,
8 the more you listen to it.
you might have a point. I was expecting something. You know, Schoolboy has this reputation, so I'm like, yo, I'm gonna get this
Yeah.
gutter crip music, this
Right.
back alley music.
But again, there-
you know what I mean?
there was that.
But there was that, but then there was this other stuff that, like, again, I'm not. Y'all know me. I'm not a Travis Scott fan. So, so.
Yeah, I thought he
got
Travis
angry.
Scott
That's
killed
and
that shit.
that's a Travis Scott song. Like he got equal billing on that shit.
Yeah, he did.
You know what I mean? So
He
that's
wrote the fucking
It's probably
chorus.
his song.
that's what I'm saying. It's,
just jumped
that's
on his
that's a
joint.
Travis Scott
Oh.
song, and he was like, "Yo,
Oh, I
School,
feel you. I feel
here you go." You know what I mean? So I'm not big into Travis Scott music. So
Okay. Fair enough. Now we're gonna swerve back into a topic that has divided us many times on air and in the group chat. I don't know if Sincere retweeted it, but I know I saw it on Twitter. It said that the only true genre of rap is boom bap.
There we
And
go.
Everything else beyond boom bap is a subgenre. I saw that and I was like, this is eyebrow raising. We should talk about this. I see your face, Langston, so I want to pass it to
Yeah,
you.
my eyebrows
You
went
ain't
up.
feeling it.
How do you feel about that?
I feel that there's nothing wrong with subgenres.
Okay.
Boom bap is a subgenre. Hip hop is the genre, and underneath that, there are more specific subgenres that speak to the nature of the sound, and that's true of boom bap. It's true of trap or whatever else.
So you're arguing
chipmunk
that-
soul,
so there was
whatever else you want to throw
something
there.
Before boom bap, you say?
No, I wouldn't say that. I would say though that boom bap is true to a lot of the sonic qualities of the earliest incarnations of hip hop. I will grant you that. But I mean, early hip hop was club music. It was all about partying and having a good time. And
Rocking
there
the
are
mic.
other subgenres that are truer to that than boom bap is. I mean, boom bap is all about bars and hard drums, right?
early hip hop was about. It was about having a good time. It was about party. It was about like block parties. It wasn't about clubs, so to speak. It went to the clubs because that was the natural progression
It
of
went to
things.
the clubs fairly early in its history. I mean, not day one, but
I mean,
relatively
it
speaking.
took a few years. Just because Sugar Hill Gang.
I mean, by the early '80s.
Right, but I mean, it'd been popping off since like the mid to late '70s, maybe even a little bit earlier than that.
You and I would not recognize that as hip hop. Like that was the embryo of the thing that would develop into hip hop, and it is hip hop, but
Right.
it's a very sort of rudimentary version of what would become hip hop.
True, but there was always like a core to it.
Right.
You know what I mean? There were certain things that were upheld within the genre, right? And so like even in its rudimentary stages, emceeing was a thing to be upheld, right?
As
It
was
one of the pillars.
DJing and emceeing was sort of
Right.
thought of on equal footing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. And so over time, like the MC evolved,
Right.
From like, early on with like Kool Herc and Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5, Curtis Blow, Run DMC, then LL Cool J, and then comes Rakim,
Right. Who
sets a whole new bar.
this is what we're doing now.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Nas is like
to a lesser extent,
I'm
Cool
a-
G Rap.
Cool G-Rap,
Yeah.
right? And then like Nas comes in and it's like, yo, I'm gonna take that and like make it even, take it to another level. And then that became like, so it's this is where to me like the whole thing about the whole idea of hip hop goes through these phases of evolution, and like where there's the new school is like, oh, hip hop has just evolved to this new thing, right? Like we can track the evolution, the higher focus on emceeing over time, right? Up until it gets to a certain level. And that's just, that's something that we don't really see from this newer school of generation, right? As far as like the DJ then became the producer, right? This is what, we all know here that like I make beats, right? I'm a sample heavy producer. I think there's a certain segment of newer producers that's like, oh, sampling, that's like old school, and like, I make my own, all my own sounds on my own beat. But like sampling is the OG shit. Like that's how MCs would rock off.
So
they would find a loop
with the tweet that everything else beyond boom bap is a subgenre.
I'm surprised at how conflicted you are.
No. So to finish out my thought, if I might be dragging out. Okay. Fine. I'll bring it to a nice tiny boat, right? A nice neat boat. So, MCing, DJing / producing, those are the two big pillars of hip hop. Right? Hip hop music that have made its way down into today's era, right? Both of those things, I feel like, are not being, upheld enough.
Okay.
So, I feel like there's a certain branching off that's happening, and I feel like it's fair to call, trap a subgenre of hip hop.
But trap is hip hop, though.
Subgenre.
Is boom bap the be all end all and everything else is a subgenre? Do you agree? Disagree?
I mean, I go back to my martial art theory, man. You know what I'm saying? Karate is karate, Everything after that is its own form of martial arts. It's in the realm of martial arts, but karate's karate, ninjutsu. I think everything should be kind of spread out. You know what I'm saying? It's like subs. Like for instance, you got rock and roll, but you got your '70s rock, you got your classic rock. You know what I'm saying?
Heavy metal.
So you prefer that hip hop be like the diagram, and you put a line now. Trap.
Because there's trap artists,
East Coast,
there's
West
boom
Coast,
bap artists,
boom
there's
bap.
different guys that you know what I'm saying.
Because
like when you have martial arts tournaments, they usually just let everybody fight from every flavor, right?
True.
So
whatever your style is your style.
Yeah, so I guess from that wave, it is the umbrella.
Here's my thing. I feel like boom bap was a category that was created retroactively.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Agreed.
Like looking back at things, right? So that we can now fit these other genres.
I feel like narrative purposes.
Right, for narrative purposes, like boom bap. But if you think about it, like the idea of like this beat that is a certain range of beats per minute, and you have the kick and the snare, like boom boom bap, boom boom bap, boom boom bap. Whether it's sampled drums or whether it's from an 808, a TR-808 drum machine, the construction of it has always been pretty much the same, right? Now there is, and I've been meaning to say this for a minute.
Get ready, everybody.
I feel like trap. I feel like trap is more of an amalgamation of hip hop and EDM.
I agree with that.
So
I agree with that.
Like, there's a lot of EDM that's made its way into the hip hop scene, right? With the synthy sounds, with the more synthesized drums.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The emo stuff. You know what I mean? So I think that amalgamation should be noted. You know what I mean?
Sure, I agree with that.
You're right.
100%.
I fall in line with the. I'm not gonna say I wholeheartedly agree with it, but the idea that boom bap is the be all and everything else is a subgenre. I kind of agree with it, but more because of the time frame of it all. Like when hip hop took off, it was boom bap, and as time went along, it became something else. Like I guess you could say the essence of like the '90s golden era was boom bap, but it wasn't technically boom bap. It didn't sound like that. You know what I mean?
Well,
A lot of it did. A lot of it did, especially in the East.
Like Biggie? Biggie wasn't really boom bap.
Biggie was more ambiguous boom bap.
Illmatic had its
moments.
roots in boom bap, but it strayed away from boom bap.
Biggie had some
Illmatic
boom
is
bap
definitely
moments,
boom
though.
bap, bro.
It
Like,
had moments where it
So
strayed
what
away.
okay, so what do you see as boom bap? Like
To me, like the mid '80s till the early '90s, like maybe '90, '91. To me, that's the core of boom
Think
bap.
RZA's boom bap?
I don't think so. I think that he's of boom bap, but I don't think the Wu sound is boom bap.
I disagree with you, Jarvis.
That's
I think
fair. I'm not here to be the source.
I'm
you know?
more.
Got some boom bap. in
I'm
'em.
more wide encompassing with the term boom bap.
Right.
Obviously, you
Well,
can venture out a bit.
For sure, but to Sin's point about boom, bap, boom, 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 bap, like it wasn't that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, that's
like
that's
to me,
true.
what drew me to Wu was the fact that it was so unique, and the fact that it was using like Chinese movies on Channel 5 samples. Like some of the instruments sounded Asian. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
they embodied Wu-Tang. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what's
Right.
crazy about RZA and his production? There was a lot of shit that he produced that sounded like it was out of a kung fu flick
Right.
or some mafioso shit or some like really like you know these strings from like out of Asia and them shits was all
Yep.
soul samples.
That man is the GOAT. We gotta have an
Like,
episode we
and
talk
I-
about
and-
producers.
and I'll
Riz is
listen
the
to
GOAT.
the source song and I'm like, oh, this was like this was like the Charmels
Like
from
the
like
drums that
This is
that
different.
Just Blaze might use, or even early Kanye, stems from boom bap. But what they were doing was they were doing something different. They were elevating it,
Right.
and giving you something different. But their core, if you ask them where it stems from, it's from
Right.
80s rap, early 90s rap, RZA, to people that you brought up. But it's like, I think that boom bap, like the Rakims of the world, and the KRS's, the essence, so to speak.
Right.
To me, that is what it is, and I think that there were certain air quote mutations of that sound. You know what I mean? All the way down to a trap. Like you know what's funny? Because it's like we have these debates, and what we feel about boom bap or early '90s rap, mid '90s rap, is what these teenagers feel about trap. Like boom bap, I mean trap has done something that boom bap has done, is that there is a defined sound. It is a defined energy of a time. You know what I'm saying?
Man, that is a really interesting point. I gotta
Because
sit with that for a
you
little
should,
while.
because when I talk to Jose, a lot of times it's not about what it sounds like for me. It's about what it made me feel like.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And to me, there was a gap in like the late 2000s, early 2000s to late 2000s, where like there was no feeling. Like trap is what it is. These kids who are teenagers now, when they become adults and they hear that trap energy, it's gonna make
gonna
them
hit
feel
them.
away. The same way when I hear Ice Cream from Wu-Tang as an example,
Right.
or if I hear Can't Knock the Hustle or Feeling It,
Just hit different.
or like The World Is Mine, it's gonna make me feel something. It's not what I hear. It's how it's gonna take me back to when I was a kid. You get what I mean? And it's like, to me, like boom bap is the genre because it starts there. I think hip hop is unique in that of all the genres, it changed so much in such a short space of time that it kind of got fractured off. And people kind of like sort of taking certain aspects or certain avenues for themselves, unlike rock music, where like rock is rock for the most part. Certain synths changed over time, but it's the same rap in 30 years, 35 years. It's been so different.
Nah, I mean, I'll
Losing
provide
my
some
voice.
some
That was awesome, man.
I'll provide some
Breakdown.
pushback to that. No, rock has definitely gone through its changes. Like early rock and roll was like black music that stemmed from the blues and R&B and stuff like that.
True indeed, but
isn't
to me-
rap a
to me, what
subgenre of rock and roll?
No.
I don't know.
No?
That's no. Look, the fact that there is there's rapping in and of itself makes it its own thing. There was obviously there were samples and there were things that were taken from earlier genres and earlier times. Obviously, James Brown is one of the most sampled artists of all time in hip hop, but the rapping is what makes it unique, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure rapping is that much different from what James Brown was doing.
It's a lot different.
James Brown was not a great singer.
He wasn't a great vocalist.
He was a great vocalist in the same way that like Nas is a great vocalist, but Nas can't fucking sing. You know what I'm saying?
What James Brown would do, he didn't have a traditionally, good singing voice.
Nah.
It wasn't a traditional voice, but it would still the octaves of his voice, the tones of his voice.
So what we talked about in episode 3, there was a richness in his voice. You know what I mean?
The tones and the texture of his voice is what he would use for his songs, right? It wasn't about the rhyme schemes. It wasn't about
No, I agree with you. Yeah. But I mean, also you have to put in perspective the time in which this brilliant artist emerged. So like if James Brown was born like in the late 80s, he would have been a rapper. He wouldn't have even tried to sing. And he would have applied his same gifts to different things.
Possibly. But that brings up another point about and I think I mentioned this in the last podcast where the last episode where I don't feel like artists or rap artists are using the full texture of their voice enough, right?
Really? Really?
Yeah.
That's kind of the thing about the current moment is it's less about lyricism and more about using your voice as an instrument.
If you count auto-tune.
No, I'm not talking about auto-tune. I'm talking about like worrying less about bars and more about like the actual sound of your voice. Like I love Young Thug, right? Like that's what makes Young Thug great.
It's also a lot of auto-tune.
It's not a lot of auto. It's not as much as you might think.
It's a lot of auto-tune.
There's definitely some auto-tune, but Young Thug doesn't need auto-tune to be a great artist.
You think not?
No.
What happened to this guy, the originator of the
T-Pain?
guy T-Pain? What happened to T-Pain after he took off auto-tune?
He kind of fell by the wayside.
he
Although,
disappeared.
I mean, like T-Pain
Thanks, Jay.
is a talented guy. Where like if you hear T-Pain sing, like he can really
He's
sing.
a talented dude.
Like,
he can sing.
He's not what he was, but he's still cooking. Like he did a collaborative album with Lil Wayne not that long ago. Like he's still out here in these streets making money.
That's cool.
But
Yeah, I know Sincere's not buying
let's
it.
not fall off the rails. In the end, to everyone's point, I love the fact that we disagree so much. You get so many podcasts where everyone agrees, and it's kind of boring.
Yeah. Not us.
I think the beauty of hip hop is that much like anything that's great, we can all see the same thing, but see it so many different ways.
Yeah.
Different
angles.
I agree with the subgenre tactic. I'd like to see what happens after trap. I don't think we'll ever get back to boom bap. I hope I can live long enough to see the day.
No, but
that we
boom
get
bap will
back
always
there.
be around as like there'll be there'll always be like a Dave East or a Pusha T.
But
right?
as the popular sound,
No, I agree
don't
with that.
think
Yeah,
so. But let's leave this topic alone because I think there's a lot of meat on that bone. I'd like to pause. I'd like to get back to that at some point. Yo. You know what I'm saying? That was a ridiculous statement. But y'all know what I meant.
It's a good point.
There was a few things that floated around that didn't make news, but it was interesting to people who are of the culture. Starting with this whole collaboration, I think it was Logic and Eminem. I don't know if you guys observed or noticed it.
Negative.
It's supposed to drop
I
today.
have no
Yeah,
interest in
drop.
this topic at all.
I didn't.
You guys could go ahead.
I heard it, and it's like,
Was it good?
it's the issue that I constantly have, where it's like, it's good rapping for the sake of good rap. But what is the song about? You know what I mean? It's a cool beat. Eminem spit. He did his thing. I'm not gonna kill him this time. Logic did his thing. He's loved that Eminem tree. I feel like as far as the kind of rapper he is.
Yep.
But it's like, all right, I'm really good. I'm good at rapping. I'm really good. But it's like, what else is it about? You know what I mean?
Right.
And I feel like that's the issue, that the disconnect I've had with Eminem, as far as you're good at rap, but what are you
else?
talking about? Where's the narratives? Where's the stories?
Where's the arc?
Where's the arc?
Yeah.
Right.
It was an arcless record. Thank you.
He
Thanks,
had that
man.
early on.
Yeah, first two albums.
Yeah, first
2 or 3.
Yeah, first 2 or 3.
So I'm guessing that the rest of the table didn't hear that record yet, so I won't waste
No,
no
I
time.
have
I'm not
No.
checking for Eminem in 29. Listen, I
I'm
love his
listening to it,
first
though.
two
Listen
records.
to it.
Was there
Well,
any?
didn't you come to his defense in the year-end joint?
Yo, you know me. I'm a fucking contrarian, man.
You should have come to his defense.
No, I love Eminem's first two records.
Okay.
I think they're
Anything-
really good hip hop records.
Any random observations around rap that anyone like want to talk about before we
Nah, I can't think of any. I'm a little drunk.
shift? Yeah.
I am pretty smack.
Sincere, you're on Twitter. You cook.
Nah, we covered it. The Lil Nas X thing.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I did see about, Logic and Eminem doing a collab joint. I didn't hear the joint because I was busy all day, but I saw the reactions even before the joint dropped. People was like cooking it, like, ain't nobody trying to hit like that shit. That rappity rap.
The hate was like that already?
Here's the thing. Again, I'm a rappity rap dude.
Right.
Right? That should be up my alley, but I'm not checking for it. One, because Eminem in 2019 is just not.
Not checking for Eminem right now.
Here's my thing about Eminem. He's way too far removed from the culture. Way too, like, for
I
so
agree with
long.
you.
He's not talking about anything relevant. At
He's a
all.
cornball.
At
the
all.
way he carries himself.
And the thing is, like
I
early
ain't got no
on.
love for my son Slim Shady, huh?
Here's my thing. Early on, the shock value and the things he was saying and the weird voice he was
It was
doing
game
was
changing
new.
at the time.
It was new, and he had that shtick, and like, I
That's
paid
really
attention.
the birth of all the stuff that's going on right now. I feel like it's
I don't know.
I mean,
the gimmicky stuff going on.
Yeah,
At least he could rap though. On top of the gimmicks,
that's true. But like, so he had all that game. But like now he's like 40. How many years
50, I think.
old? He's gonna be
damn near 50.
So yeah, he's close.
48 maybe?
And it's like, like you. I feel like you need, like Hove does, whether for better or worse. He's
or like
making music.
Schoolboy Q for that matter.
He you should make music that
Eminem is rapping like he's
represents
still in his 20s.
your age range, right, and your maturity.
All right,
That's
well,
not what he's doing. So like, I'm
that's-
not checking for that at all.
That's fair. I'm gonna attack you now.
Oh, me?
Get him.
What did I do?
I saw you tweet.
Did you?
Because your cultural Twitter account is real. Like,
Yeah,
Sincere, if you just go on his mentions,
Sincere's a good follow.
Sincere's really like in hip hop. Twitter, hip hop Twitter, heavily involved.
Yeah.
And I noticed that
Nah.
he put that the best album of 2019 in rap was Boogie's album.
Boogie.
Whoa.
It's still Boogie.
You like Boogie's album better than Blues album?
It's still yeah. I'd have Blues album as number 2, and probably and then probably Schoolboy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Boogie over Schoolboy.
Boy, yeah.
I ain't going for that.
Yeah. No.
I ain't going for that either. But,
Huge.
me and him bump
It ain't
heads
2
every
Chainz.
episode.
It's not 2 Chainz. Stop
Future,
it.
Yeah, it
Future had a
might be,
great
though.
album though.
Future better.
Lyrically sounded not the same as Boogie.
Schoolboy
and Blues.
bodied that Boogie album.
I don't know,
Body
man.
it.
I feel like again, like, but like, Look, you might feel about the Schoolboy album, or I'm sorry, I might feel about the Schoolboy album the way certain people feel about, for instance, Life After Death,
I just farted.
Okay. Wow.
right?
Sorry, guys.
Yikes.
Hopefully it doesn't smell.
Now I'm gonna have to use the fan and blow that way. You see how this works, ladies and gentlemen?
Come on, son.
Really, J-Mo?
Damn it, man.
Damn it, man.
Yo,
for
yo,
real.
niggas know me.
All
I
right,
be watching
so
it.
Life After Death, right? I love that album. Got 5 mics in the source. I have a T-shirt about it. But there's a certain segment of the population that's like, yo, there's a lot of There's a lot of filler on that album, right?
Wait, Life After Death?
Yeah.
There's there's a little filler. I mean,
Some
or three songs.
people say there's a lot of filler on that album,
Great
right?
album though.
I love that album. Even with the quote unquote filler, like I feel like Biggie was that talented to carry that filler and make it dope songs and still make it somehow fit. That's probably how you feel about the Schoolboy album. That even if it's music that you weren't expecting from him, or that like you feel like, you know, it's more towards radio spins or streams or whatever, like he still pulled it off. Maybe I might need a little bit more time with it, but as it stands right now, again, the Travis song, I'm not a fan of Travis Scott music, and that sounds like a complete Travis Scott song that he just handed over to Schoolboy and was like, here you go, just write the verses. Lil Baby,
fire,
you know, Water, whatever.
Fire.
I got that.
21. So yeah, I'm gonna hold Boogie as my favorite album thus far this year. I think musically, I think the way it flowed, I think the theme of it, and yeah, that's my take.
It's not in my top 5.
That's fair.
Not in your top. So wait, what? How?
We'll talk about it in the next episode.
Hold up. So you got
we gotta get up out of here.
So you got
man.
2 Chainz. You got Schoolboy Q. You got the Blue
third-
record.
No.
Is that-
I think at third I had Offset.
Yeah.
Wow.
Fourth,
Yikes.
I think I had Blue, and fifth, I think was Future.
Okay.
Oh, the
It's
Future
5
record.
versus
Shit was
5.
hard.
All right, people, we are at the part of the episode where we let the rap snob, who dropped about 50 tonight, he cooked. Did his thing. But now after that 50 piece, it's the post-game interview. Lisa Salters, Greg Sager, R.I.P. J1 going to take a piss.
Or fart some more.
Hopefully he comes back. It might end up in traffic.
At this point of the episode, Sincere the Rap Snob asks you bozos to do one thing for him.
Fuck off my lawn, yo.
Get off his lawn.
All right, this is going out to y'all millennials.
Oh, boy.
Damn it,
And that's, you know, that's not even like that's not Gen Z. That's up to like 30, 31, 32, like Lang, who just left the room for a second. Maybe he didn't want to hear this. But, you know what? The revisionist history, that you shit gotta go, bro. Like, so this is gonna go back to like what we was talking about earlier, the Illmatic discussion, right? Just let great things be great. You know what I mean? Like, if there's a whole generation of people before you that say, yo, this is fire, this is great, this is one of our pillars, right? Let that be. You ain't gotta go and argue with everything. I understand that y'all got, you know, Twitters and the Instagrams and the like, y'all all have voices and y'all wanna, you know, like y'all wanna argue and y'all wanna like make y'all mark, but there's different ways to make y'all mark, man. Like, if you feel like it, you know, albums like It Was Written is your personal favorite, that's cool, right? But just let the pillars be the pillars of things, right?
Okay.
Illmatic, let it be. You know what I mean? Like I've seen a lot of discussions online that like, Illmatic was cool, but it was ran. You know, y'all was talking about it earlier, and it's cool, but at least y'all recognize that like y'all have a personal favorite, but y'all understand the greatness of what an album like Illmatic is and what it represented, right? But I'm just saying, like, there's a very vocal generation on social media and out there that's like, yo, like, you know, that old shit is trash, you know, or that old shit is not what they say it is. You know what I mean? Just let it be.
Let greatness be great.
Let greatness shine. Let greatness be great. Don't fight against it so much, right?
If you
disagree, and matter of fact, to that end, you know what I mean? Like that means that Nas had two two classics back to back.
No question.
Illmatic and It Was Written, right? Which means that your man Hov was he was kind of bullshitting.
We know that Volume 1 was a step back. We know. All right?
No, but I'm just saying, like on Takeover,
Takeover.
when he was like,
Two was Due, one is-
two was
yeah.
Due, one was the
Yeah.
other one was
Is
Illmatic. No, that's two.
Smart
that's,
up Nas?
That's back to back
I
classics.
think it was really
Right.
supposed to be the
So there's a
end.
whole
The
segment
the
of the
40
generation.
Nas fans on Twitter saying it doesn't make it valid, okay?
So anyway, yeah, man, like the Get Off My Lawn is just like, just if there's generation, like for instance, me, I'm not gonna go back generations before me and be like, yo, like I know you love that album, but that, to me it's trash. Like,
Yo,
I'm not gonna do that.
like I hear you breakdancing was cool and all, but this,
yeah, you know what I
this
mean?
river dance
Or
is
like,
fire.
yeah.
You don't got motherfuckers from that era like shitting on everything that you love.
Right.
Or like, you like that Marvin Gaye album, but that shit is trash. Like, this is my Marvin Gaye album. Like, no, like, you was there for the era, for the moment that, you was there.
So,
yeah, that's what you felt.
You
So-
millennials who hating on greatness before you were even on Earth.
Y'all wasn't even here.
Y'all wasn't shooting with Nas in the gym.
Nope.
You weren't there,
You
Lois.
cannot judge what you do not understand, and Sincere needs you to once and for all.
Get off my lawn.
Get off his lawn. I had to hit it twice because I wanted impact.
Fuck off, y'all.
Get the fuck off his lawn unless you're mowing that lawn. You hear it? Listen one more time.
Get off my lawn.
I might pay y'all a couple ducats if you want to mow it.
Facts.
Maybe.
Ladies and gentlemen, episode 4 of the Rap Roundtable, the illustrious J-Mo, take us home.
Yeah, man. J-Mo no Shamo, Links to Liguizamo. This was a lot of fun, guys.
As always.
I am His Holiness Links to Liguizamo on Twitter.
Underrated Twitter name on the whole internet right
Yeah.
now.
Also, check out the Thirsty Degenerate podcast. My producer's on hiatus right now. He just went to Ireland, went to the Jameson distillery.
Nice.
Ooh,
Yeah, we're gonna have a lot to talk about when he comes
Nice.
back.
I'm sure he's sending pictures.
Where's Ahab?
Oh no, Ahab. Actually, that's a good question. I'm not sure who's walking Ahab. Yeah, I know he didn't take him with him. Ahab is Adam's dog. Anyway, yeah, check out Sincere. He makes beats.
That's a fact. That's me.
He's a good Twitter follow.
It
Yeah.
made this beat playing in the background if you didn't.
Fire.
First
Yeah.
time.
We had some fire on this episode in terms of the beat selection.
Oh yeah.
That's a fact. So yeah, Sincere 819. That's CINSERE 819. That's on Instagram. I think that's on Twitter too. I'm drunk, so I can't remember. But
We got really drunk this episode. Can I just say?
We
well,
I don't
we ain't
feel
have
like
no-
the drunkest one at the round
we ain't
table
have
for
no,
the first time.
We ain't have no mixer.
No.
We have no
So,
chase.
I
We should do
usually
this
chase
every
heavy.
episode. Chaser is for pussies.
I'm clapped right now.
The one for your choice, Deanie. What's good?
Yo, I'm locked in. I got everything set. I just put out the thing for a web designer to help me finalize. The site is finished.
Okay.
I just need the final touches. I'm not as crafty as I thought I was. I did the whole thing myself from top to bottom. I made the site,
Fire.
logged everything in. I learned how to do that online, by the way. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing that you can't learn if
Wow.
you're really hungry.
Yo,
Your name is made by
YouTube is a
Deanie
great
for a
resource.
Yeah, so I learned how to do all of that. And I just need somebody to help me finalize. Holla at me, made by Deanie, the wealthy of choice, at the Rap Roundtable, the great area, the Thirsty Degenerate. This guy makes beats.
Also, I
they fire.
wanna say one more thing. I gotta have you guys on. I just had Deanie on my last episode.
Yes.
So
Merch!
we're gonna and also Deanie and I are gonna collaborate. I think.
I feel some type of way, and I haven't made it back to his podcast yet. I was on the first episode.
He was episode
Can
one.
I get invited back? What's good?
Good.
God
We're
damn.
gonna work on that, and
few
we're
quarters
gonna
of the
get
order.
Jarvis on, and then at some point I want to get
Yeah, I'm supposed
want
to
to get
be
Sin
on,
on,
there too, bro.
but I want to talk to you because I might add a little twist to that for you. But anyway, yeah. So
Sincere got 2 shots.
Yeah.
Deanie got 2 shots. Jarvis on the
Locked in.
no,
bench.
since you only got one
What do
shot,
you want to
bro.
do?
You
I bring,
invited
I
him for
bring
his
beats.
second appearance.
I bring
Can I
beats.
I'm
get back?
inviting everyone for
Can
the
I
second
live?
appearance.
So Lane, I bring beats and you rhyme. That's the twist.
No, well, I mean, if we can talk
Freestyle
about it
session.
on the mic, but I wanted to, add a little.
Let's not
Alright.
spoil it for the
Yeah.
Freestyle session.
Y'all already know it's the gray area. Chapter 47 is on the way. Look out for that. We talking. I'm coming back to sports. I'm depressed, but I'm coming back to sports. It
Mets
is
are
what it
not
is.
doing that bad.
They're not doing that bad, but the teams that have been good to me over my life are really disappointing me.
The Lakers.
We're not gonna Langston.
I said, I'm sorry.
Langston.
I'm trying to host this shit.
Oh, come
I'm
on.
sorry.
I don't want to talk about those teams. But listen, we are literally all cooking right now. It's a beautiful thing to see.
That's a
You know,
fact.
it's Avengers season. We like to rap Avengers. We come together.
We
make fire.
need to do a little intermission about that, bro. We need to have a little segment where we chop it up about how we feel about that, man.
You already know how I feel about Endgame.
I know, but we need to talk.
We should
about
definitely
it.
have,
We should have
like
a little
little
conversation
snippets,
chopped up about
like, maybe
that,
like
man.
you
extra
mean-
content.
I mean,
On our
we can go
perspectives.
live on social
Yeah,
media.
we might have to do
Hint,
that.
hint, wink, wink. I've been bugging y'all for months.
Let's do it. Nah, let's do it.
FaceTime it all together. Record
Hey,
it.
whatever's clever,
We
baby.
gotta get it in, man.
Listen, I got a bum
'Cause
ass
we got some
iPhone. I
takes.
can't
We
do
still
that.
growing.
We got you, bro.
Hey.
We gonna make it happen.
Langston, get us out of here.
Yo, well, we out, man. We love y'all. Shout to all our listeners, man. Y'all are the best. See y'all in a month.
Facts.
One.
Yeah.